Fans, as you're making your way into the stadium, don't forget to swing by our multiple concession stand opportunities. Down the first baseline, we have Little King's Kitchen. Just inside the main gates, we have the Backstop Cafe, where you can get some hand-scooped ice cream from Umpqua Dairy. Down the third baseline, we have the Block 15 Beer Garden, as well as the TNT Builders Party Deck. So head there now, grab yourself some beverage and some food. Find your way to your seat, get settled in for a great evening of Knights baseball.
Knights win tonight, everyone is going home with a free McDonald's fry. Get your coupon after the game.
Qdoba Mexican Grill is a proud sponsor of your Corvallis Knights. Food for people who love food. Located off Monroe in Corvallis.
Hey fans, did you know we offer mobile ordering? Simply scan the QR code up on the video board to get your favorite TNT Builders Party Deck concessions delivered right to your seat. TNT Builders, your deck and patio cover experts in the Willamette Valley for over 25 years. Visit them at tntbuildersleague.com.
Hey Knights fans, 2027 season tickets are now on sale. Get a head start on next summer and renew your season tickets early. Head down to the box office before the end of the fourth inning or email us at tickets@corvallisnights.com to lock up your seats for next season. This season, the Knights and Pappy Material Handmade are teaming up once again to support Community Outreach Inc. For every stolen base at home this season, the Knights and Pappy will each donate $25 to COI. And the total is doubled when the Knights win. Hey kids, don't forget to run the bases after the game and get player autographs, courtesy of Old Spaghetti Factory. Once the game is over, access the field with a TNT Builders Party Deck down the third baseline. Tonight, we have a 50-50 raffle up along the third base concourse, benefiting every child, Benton and Lincoln counties. Every Child is a local nonprofit that mobilizes our community to support kids.
Hi again, everybody, from Goss Stadium at Coleman Field on the campus of Oregon State University in Corvallis, along with Everett Bartee and Brian Thomas, and a combination of Javon Grossman, Dale Hummel, and Garrett Dworshak in our 1240 Joe Radio studios. This is Mike Parker welcoming you to Game 2 of the three-game South Division West Coast League Series between the Corvallis Knights and the Yakima Valley Pippins. The Knights taking the opener last night 11-6 and looking to win their fourth consecutive series in the penultimate home game of the regular season here on this pleasant but cool and breezy Saturday evening. Cool and getting cooler. So if you're on your way to the ballpark, make sure you have another blanket, an extra layer or two, because by game's end, with the wind blowing the way it is right now. It won't be quite candlestickian, but it'll certainly will cool off from the pleasant mid-70s that we've been experiencing today. Coming up next, a conversation with Aiden Hazen, who has been a Beaver through and through for most of his life. His parents met at Oregon State. We'll get the backstory on Aiden, who recently re-signed after spending virtually all of the 2025 season with the Corvallis Knights. Aiden coming to the Knights out of Marist Catholic in Eugene, playing for Andy Peterson at Lynn Benton Community College and looking for a landing spot to continue his collegiate baseball career. Great young man in his second season with the Knights, with a story to tell about his love of Oregon State and his parents meeting here, and the rest is history. So we got a couple of minutes before we get into that conversation with Aiden. We'll get to the lineups in the first pitch. With the Knights, they can't quite clinch tonight by all indications, but they're bearing down on making the playoffs for a 19th consecutive West Coast League season. We'll be back in a conversation with Knights catcher, infielder, first baseman, finished the game last night at first, Aiden Hazen, back in on the Knights live stream and Joe Radio. Back at Goss Stadium at Coleman Field, Game 2, the Knights and Yakima Valley Pippins, and the next to the last home game on the home schedule for the regular season, although we believe there's more home baseball coming in the postseason for the Knights, and I think a guy that believes that too is also going to try to help the Knights get there. Joins me, Aiden Hazen, in his second year with the Knights, and a baseball career, Aiden, that has been pretty local in nature. I want to ask you, first of all, what it means for you to put on the Knights gear for another season now.
Absolutely. It's such an honor to play for the Corvallis Knights growing up, coming to Goss, watching the boys this summer, watching the Corvallis Knights, and Coach Knight leading the troops every year, and it's always been a successful product, and it's such an honor to be able to come out here every day and try to accomplish the ultimate goal.
So, Aiden, tell me, coming here as a kid growing up, what is your background? Where exactly did you grow up? Tell us about where you went to school and I guess all the time you spent right here in Corvallis, in the Mid-Valley.
Yeah, absolutely. I grew up in a small town, Junction City. Went to high school in Eugene and Marist Catholic. My parents met at Oregon State. My dad's been a lieutenant fireman here in Corvallis for over 20 years. Just growing up, like I said, coming to Goss, coming to Corvallis, watching Beaver games, always watching good sports, good baseball. And then in college, going down the road to Lynn Benton, playing for a former Beaver and PD, and just seeing the success and the Oregon State ties everywhere around this area.
Aiden Hazen joining me. So you're in Junction City, sort of that halfway point between Eugene, Corvallis. Did you have options for high school? Was Marist Catholic the best place for you ultimately to go?
Absolutely. Marist was always on the radar for my parents with a good faith background, and then just growing up, they wanted to keep me in a good school with good academics, and that's always been a big thing in our house. Is sports are obviously a big thing, but academics is obviously number one because we're student athletes. And yeah,
it's good to hear. Now, tell me about your parents. You say they met at Oregon State, or did they know each other, or they met here?
They met here. My mom worked at the Java stop in the MU, and
okay. I know that place well.
Absolutely, and they met their senior year. My dad kept going in there, and yeah, and they just sparked conversation and kept hanging out.
Well, and here you are.
Absolutely.
So it's great to have you with us, Aiden Hazen joining me. But even though you're in Oregon country down the road at Marist, you're a Beaver through and through kind of from the beginning?
Absolutely. Growing up, always a big Beaver fan, even though my cousins were Ducks. Going to school in Eugene was definitely an odd Beaver fan in the mix.
Were there any other Beavers around you at Marist?
A handful. My class was pretty small, so there wasn't a whole lot of Beavers, but I was always sticking it out. I'd get the jeers from the Duck fans, but it's all right. Beaver through and through.
Do you have any special moments or memories of any of the sports for Oregon State? Baseball players that you really looked up to and admired when you'd come to games and watch, or in any other sports? Anything come to mind?
I don't know. Just growing up watching all the great Beaver catchers, Logan Ice, Adley Rutschman, Rodriguez, and all the great teams with Michael Conforto, Trevor Larnach, Andrew Moore, all the great Beavers. Yeah, just growing up watching good baseball, and always growing up, I never saw the Beavers lose. I felt like I would always come watch the Beavs win, and Coach Casey would always put a good product on the field.
Well, if you came to any of the 2017 games, they only lost one game. They were 30-1 here. I mean, did you see some of that team that went 56-6?
Yeah, I think we usually try to get to at least one game a year when I was a kid. So Dad would usually work the games, so we'd come to see Dad and watch some good baseball.
So the opportunity then at LB with Petey, a great Beaver, a back-to-back second baseman, Pac-12 champion in those 13 and 14 seasons. What was that experience like?
It was awesome. Petey runs a great program there down the road, and we have great coaches, and he's always instilling the Oregon State culture, and everybody's there to help everybody out, and it's a good winning culture, and obviously we've had some success, and Petey's had some success, and it's just a great program, and I'd recommend it to anybody.
Aiden, I was mentioning to you the other day, you're kind of, it looks like, I mean, we'll get the detail on this in a moment, but you look strong. You look like you're in really good shape. Tell me kind of what you've been at, what you've been doing in terms of strength and conditioning, and under whose tutelage, because it shows you put in some work.
Well, thank you, Mr. Parker. I appreciate it. I was up at Driveline for 2 months this summer, and had the pleasure of Mr. Siegel contacting me a couple weeks ago and asked if I would want to come help the team compete for a championship, and absolutely. I mean, who doesn't want to come play for the best collegiate organization in summer ball? And yeah, strength training up there in Driveline is amazing. They do a great job up there, and I'm very thankful and grateful for the opportunity that I was given.
Now, Driveline, a lot of great players have benefited from going there. You're not playing games day to day like you do in the summer league and traditional summer ball. Not only along with the strength and conditioning, what are some of the other aspects of being at Driveline this summer that you feel like benefited you?
Yeah, it's just going in there every day, working hard. There's a bunch of college guys there that have the same goal, as to get better. And then there's a couple pro guys there, and I had the pleasure of catching a few of the pro guys that would come in. And it was just awesome picking their brain and seeing kind of what I can improve on, or what I can keep doing better. And yeah, it's just a great atmosphere. Everybody's in there to get better, and I 100% would do it again.
Where does it leave you now then? What are you looking at for the fall?
Just a place that I can go and make an immediate impact. I mean, I've always wanted to be a leader on a team and go help the boys win and do anything I can, and that's kind of what I'm doing this summer. I may not be getting in the lineup every day, but just helping the team wherever I can, in the bullpen or warming up pitchers, or just every now and then just helping Skip or Bo with whatever they need.
What are your eligible? I mean, how much do you have left?
I'll be a junior, so I have at least 2 more years left, and I'm looking forward to, like I said, going in there and helping a program and going to win some more baseball games.
Aiden, and I don't want to put you or anyone on the spot on this, but when you talk about growing up a Beaver fan, growing up coming to this ballpark, growing up admiring Michael Conforto, Adley, Logan, everybody else, and you even remember Jake Rodriguez, and you were pretty young when you were watching him catch so well here for the Bees. That's Nick Madrigal's hero and idol, Jake Rodriguez. If you continue to work at your craft and work at your game, ultimately would getting some sort of opportunity here be a full dream come true?
Absolutely. I had some talks this summer, and it looked like it might happen, and unfortunately it didn't, and that's just the plan that God has for me right now, and I'm just looking forward to continue improving my baseball skills, and absolutely Oregon State's definitely a dream, and it's not over. I still have a few more years, and I would love to be able to put it on the orange and black and help the team any way I can.
In the meantime, though, it looks like the Knights in the summer of 2026, it feels like you've seen a lot of the championship teams over the years coming in here as a fan and a contributor in the past. Do you feel like there's some kind of signs and things that it looks like you guys are coming together to make a deep run at another championship?
Absolutely. I've only been here for a week, but if you're not necessarily a fan, you look from the outside, it may not look like we're one of the better Knights teams of the past, but we're really meshing right at the right time, and the boys are playing well and picking each other up. If somebody scuffles, the next guy in the lineup's there to pick the next guy up and get a hit whenever we need.
Aiden, it's good to have you back. It's great to visit with you. Thanks for the backstory, and thanks for being a great Beaver your whole life. Maybe someday get to be one actually out here on the field, but in the meantime with the Knights, it's good to have you back. Welcome back, and thanks for the time. I appreciate it.
Absolutely. Thank you, Mr. Parker. It's a pleasure.
Aiden Hazen, my guest. The first pitch just around the corner. Arlo Pendleton, to deliver it. I don't know where I come up with the R because I know that Arlo, the folk singer, comes in at some point. The first pitch is coming up. The Knights and Pippins on a cooler evening, but a nice night for baseball. Game 2 of the 3-game series. Great to have you with us on Star Wars night on the Knights live stream. Back in 2 minutes on Joe Radio. Back at Goss Stadium at Coleman Field, where Arlo Pendleton is in the process of completing his warm-up tosses with his battery mate Xavier Rios and getting ready to face the following lineup for the Yakima Valley Pippins as announced by head coach Kyle Crustangel. Leading off in right field, Tyson Miller. Batting second in center field, Tommy Lamb. Diego Davis batting third, the designated hitter. Parker Burt, the cleanup hitter and catching. Batting fifth at second base, Brennan Aoki. Max Workman hitting sixth in left field. Batting seventh at shortstop, Brandon Stone. Hitting eighth at third base, Yash Gupta. Batting ninth at first base, Cole French. And on the mound for Yakima Valley will be 6'6", 215-pound right-hander Carl Moland Kovash. For the Corvallis Knights, leading off at second base, Diego Cruz. Ethan Porter batting second, the DH. Maverick Russell hitting third and center. Dakota Chun, the cleanup hitter, at third base. Batting fifth at shortstop, Ryan Severns. Max Medina hitting sixth and center. Zane Garvey batting seventh and left. Xavier Rios hitting eighth and catching. Joey Marasco, who's closed out the game as a pitcher for the first time since he was 12 years old, according to Steve Zabriskie. Thank you, Steve, for that note. Joey moving out from pitcher to right field to begin the game. Batting ninth, Arlo Pendleton's first pitch is in there for a strike to Tyson Miller. We're underway. No balls and one strike. Arlo back to the plate, swung out and missed by Tyson. Quickly, no balls and two strikes to open game two of the three-game series on Star Wars night, and a good crowd has come in. Tomorrow, the finale for the regular season for the Knights' home schedule, 5:05 against these Yakima Valley Pippins. 0-2 to Tyson Miller. Pendleton delivers low. Ball one, 1-2. Arlo making his seventh appearance and fourth start, 2-2 with an ERA of 4.91. 10 in the third innings, 14 hits, 8 walks, 22 strikeouts in his 18 and a third. He's ahead, 1-2 to Tyson Miller. Delivers. Fastball fouled away to the left and out of play. The count remains 1 ball and 2 strikes. It is pleasant at the moment, but the breezes are up at the outset, which means by game's end it's going to be borderline chilly here. And I see the fans coming in are well prepared. Blankets, hoodies, extra layers abounding. The 1-2 pitch taken, strike three called. Off-speed delivery, well executed by Arlo Pendleton. Rung up by home plate umpire Perry Schofield. Jim Courtney on the base paths. One away, Tommy Lamb strides to the plate for the Pippins. For the Knights defensively, a battery of Arlo Pendleton and Xavier Rios. With Maverick Russell at first, Diego Cruz at second, Ryan Severns at short, Dakota Chun at third. Arlo works from the stretch with nobody on. He runs a fastball inside to the right-hand hitting Tommy Lamb. 1 ball and no strikes. In the outfield for the Knights, Zane Garvey in left, Max Medina in center, Joey Marasco in right. Arlo ready, and the 1-0 pitch lifted to right field. Joey Marasco moving in and under and makes the catch. 2 down. Diego Davis, the designated hitter, will be the batter. Kyle Crustangel, the head coach, down at third base for the Yakima Valley Pippins. Gunnar Vidon Pancheri, Coach Panch, coaching at first base for the Pippins. 330 down both lines at the home of the Beavers and the Knights. 365 to the Alleys, 400 feet to straightaway center. The designated hitter, Diego Davis, first ball swinging, fouls it at the plate. No balls and 1 strike. Diego out of Lincoln High School in Stockton, which I believe, I'd have to take a look, but I believe was where James Newsom went to high school, one of the great receivers in all time at Oregon State. The greatest ever, Brandon Cooks, out of St. Mary's in Stockton. The pitch on the way, chopped foul. No balls and 2 strikes to Diego Davis. Diego staying home, attending the University of the Pacific in Stockton. Had 129 at-bats for the Tigers this past spring, starting 42 ball games. Good crowd on hand, making a lot of noise. The accent on youth. The strike 2 pitch on the way. Fastball hit foul into the bicycle area and the entry area over the press box. And the count remains no balls and 2 strikes. The accent on youth was accented by the fact that the Albany Youth Orchestra, with a beautiful version from talented young kids, playing the national anthem before the game. A number of them seated near my vantage point outside the press box. Slider taken, strike 3 called, and the inning is over. Excellent pitch by Arlo Pendleton, who got Tyson Miller looking on a change and Diego Davis on a slider looking, and he retires the Pippins in order to set a good tone for game 2 of this series. So down goes Yakima Valley in order at the end of half an inning. The Pippins nothing, the Knights coming up. Back in 90 on the Knights live stream and Joe Radio.
At Eugene Airport, we want to say thank you. Thank you to our community for choosing us to connect you to many destinations, other cultures, your families, and friends. Thank you to our dedicated and professional staff for ensuring the airport experience is excellent. And thank you to local residents and businesses for making us who we are. We are proud to serve you, our region, and beyond. Together, we continue to grow and thrive. Thank you for flying local and for flying EUG.
Bottom of the first inning, no score for the Corvallis Knights. It'll be Diego Cruz, Ethan Porter, and Maverick Russell coming up against Carl Molan Kovash, the starting pitcher for the Yakima Valley Pippins. He hails from Rolling Meadows, Illinois, but came west for his collegiate baseball at Whitman College. 3 years, in fact, at Whitman, 8 appearances this past spring. Rolling Meadows, it sounds bucolic. I do not know where exactly it is. I believe it's a suburb of Chicago, but loosely, it's his own town, that's for sure. And Carl Molan Kovash getting the start. Big right-hander, 6'6", 215-pounder. And he will face Diego Cruz to open the Knights' bottom of the first inning. Diego will be followed by Ethan Porter and then Maverick Russell. Brooke Knight, the Knights skipper in his 18th year, coaching at first base. Marcus Matias at first. Off speed and up from Carl, with again Diego running up as if to slash. He takes high, ball 1, 1-0. The 50-50 raffle going through the stands here at Goss Stadium at Coleman Field. The 1-0 pitch, again, slow and high. Ball 2, 2-0 to Diego. 50-50 raffle, all of the tickets sold benefiting the Every Child program. The 2-0 pitch, fastball down and in, ball 3. 3-0 to Diego. No score, bottom of the first inning. Diego Cruz at 297 in his 17 games thus far with the Knights. The 3-0 pitch, that's in there for a strike. 3-1 the count. Molan Kovash working with battery mate Parker Burt. Cole French at first, Brennan Aoki at second, Brandon Stone at short, Yash Gupta at third. The 3-1 fastball just inside. Ball 4 to Diego Cruz, and Ethan Porter, Diego's future teammate at Oregon State, coming to the plate. In the outfield for the Pippins, Max Workman in left, Tommy Lamb in center, Tyson Miller in right. That Albany Youth Orchestra I mentioned playing here, I see one of the young players in the orchestra sitting just to my right down below. Over to my left, twins, Ava and Allie, were on violins. There goes Cruz. Breaking ball strike. The throw to second, not in time. Diego with a good jump gets in with the stolen base, and Ethan Porter taking a pitch on Diego's behalf. The 13th steal for Diego this summer in 16 attempts. That means a $50 contribution, 25 each from the Corvallis Knights and Pape Material Handling to Community Outreach, Inc. Porter with a chance to drive in a run. He's the team leader in RBIs, or at least to get Diego moved. Takes the strike one pitch a little bit high. 1 ball and 1 strike the count to Porter. Ethan, the team leader at .333 in batting average, the leader in RBIs with 26, has a home run. And he's done so, again, in a pretty small sample size. He looks at a fastball for a strike, and the count 1-2. Ethan playing in his 34th game, considerably more, nearly double that of Diego Cruz, but did join the team a little bit late and still has the leading RBI total. The 1-2 pitch. Breaking ball, a check swing tapper to the left of Brennan Aoki. The second baseman goes and gets it and throws out Ethan Porter. On the play, Diego Cruz to third, so Ethan does get his job done. And the batter will be Maverick Russell. Maverick with a chance to get the Knights on the scoreboard here in the bottom of the first inning. Maverick at .293 with 17 runs batted in. This is the Knights' 50th game of the summer. 50th in the West Coast League. There have been some other games, of course, too, some non-league affairs, but this is the official 50th ball game. Pitches a strike to Maverick Russell. The 0-1 pitch misses, and the count 1 ball and 1 strike. No score, bottom of the first inning, but the Knights with an opportunity to change that. Diego Cruz at third, 1 out. Fastball misses up and in, and that runs the count to 2 balls and a strike to the pride of La Mirada High School out of Whittier. 2-1 the count from the stretch. Molan Kovash to the plate, delivers strike 2. And that evens the count at 2 balls and 2 strikes with Diego Cruz at third and 1 out here in the bottom of the first inning. Molan Kovash from the stretch to the plate. A chopper foul towards Marcus Matias. Can you liven up, please? Liven up, Everett, if you can. The second microphone. I'm going to put someone on the spot here because I want to know exactly what every child does, and because I'm not familiar. And I apologize. I'm going to get some tickets for you because I can tell it's very important what you do, but I just want to make sure what it is that you do. The 2-2 pitch to Maverick taken a little bit high. Ball 3. I know I'm slowing down sales for just a moment, but maybe we can spur them too by a quick word about what it is that every child is all about. With Diego Cruz at third, 3 balls and 2 strikes to Maverick Russell, no score. Bottom of the first inning. The 3-2 breaking ball, chop foul. So we got a little moment here. What's your name?
Kim Simmons.
Hi, Kim. Nice to meet you. You're selling 50/50 raffle tickets through the stands. I hope business is good. What is Every Child all about?
We work to mobilize the community to support children and families in foster care, as well as our DHS system that supports them. And so we're here tonight to raise awareness and invite people into that space.
The 3-2 pitch, a pop fly into left field, a miscommunication. Max Workman, the left fielder, Brandon Stone did not collaborate, unlike the people at Every Child that do. The ball lands in between Workman and Stone, and into second base goes Maverick Russell with a bloop and gift double. Down the line to score is Diego Cruz. The Knights lead it 1-0.
Get a picture, Russ.
Dakota Chun will be the batter. So Kim, yeah, you're going to get let's get a photo opportunity here, right here. We'll take a picture. Very important work, obviously, that you do. Thank you for that. Incredibly important work.
Yeah.
The batter is Dakota Chun, with the Knights leading 1-0 here in the bottom of the first inning. Carl Molan Kovash from the stretch. The pitch to Dakota, fastball high, ball one. I'll turn you loose in a moment. So that's good news. What are the tickets? I mean, so it's a raffle tonight. Half of it to you guys, the other half to the whoever holds the winning
That's
ticket.
right.
Correct? Okay.
Yeah.
And what are the raffle tickets going for?
So we've got 5 tickets for $5 or 12 tickets for $10 or
Okay.
arm's length for 20.
Okay, let's do the 12 spot for me.
All right.
And so thank you for that. Conducting this, of course, on the air. Knights leading 1-0. 2 balls and no strikes to Dakota Chun. Maverick Russell at second, 1 out. The pitch to Dakota is in there for a strike, and the count 2-1. How long have you been with the organization, Kim?
I have worked as a volunteer and on the board with Every Child since we started in 2018, and am just starting a role as a staff member today, my first official day.
Congratulations. Okay, 2 balls and 1 strike. The pitch to Dakota fouled at the plate. The count moves to 2-2. Where are you based?
We are in Lynn, Benton, and Lincoln counties. So we have a warehouse that's located in Albany that stores mattresses and all sorts of supplies that our families will receive when they have needs. So we work all over the those 3 counties.
Excellent. Here you go. And thank you so much. Keep up the great and important work you do. Thank you, Kim.
Thank you.
Nice to meet you. Kim Simmons, Every Child. And if you have a chance, if you're listening within the ballpark, or even if you're not, is there a website people could go to make contributions?
Yes. They can go to everychildlbl.org, and there's a giving link right there.
Everychildlbl.org. Thank you so much. So, thank you, everybody. Thank you, Kim. 3 balls and 2 strikes. Dakota Chun takes just outside ball 4. You can go ahead, Everett, and take down microphone 2 for now. I like to, it's really, we had Steve Zabriskie up here, longtime TV man, grandfather of Joey Morosco, who I know I could have turned the whole production over to. But I am now trying to act like a director. Go ahead and pull down Mike 2 for now. Yeah, thank you. Kim Simmons stopped by and appreciate the work that they're doing. Dakota Chun drawing a walk. The batter's Ryan Severns takes a first pitch strike. 0-1 the count. 1-0 Knights in the bottom of the first inning. Ryan at 320 blasted a 2-run home run last night. 320, 2 homers, 17 runs batted in, hit one over the fence, hit one off the middle of the fence in a big night. Runners at first and second, 1 out. The strike 1 slider in there. Good pitch from Carl Molan Kovash. 0-2 the count. 2 on, 1 out. The Knights with a bit of a gift run. Diego Cruz drawing a walk to open the inning. Ethan Porter, after Diego stole second, sent Cruz to third. Diego scored on a bloop double on a miscommunication between the left fielder and shortstop. The pitch to Severns, fastball fisted foul above the Pippins dugout. The count remains no balls and 2 strikes. Max Medina, the on-deck hitter. 1-0 Knights on Star Wars night, and a really good crowd here. And again, I hope you'll take Kim Simmons up on everychildlbl.org. Lynn, Benton, and Lincoln counties. The pitch to Severns, good fastball up on the inner half, swung on and missed, strike 3, maybe in a little out of the zone. Severns tempted by that high heat, went after it and didn't get it, which is a rarity of late for the red-hot Ryan Severns. He strikes out, 2 down. Max Medina, the batter. Medina hitting .312, second on the club in RBIs with 25. Could pull even with Ethan Porter with a 2-out hit here. He looks at a breaking ball strike from Carl Molan Kovash. 0-1 the count. Maverick Russell at second, Dakota Chun at first, 2 down. The 6'6" right-hander out of Rolling Meadows, Illinois. Comes back to the plate, and the pitch is dropped by the catcher, Parker Burt. The pitch was a strike called by home plate umpire Perry Schofield, and then Burt not only dropped it, had a hard time finding the ball, which was right at his feet. Kind of twirled around. The ball was right at his feet, but he didn't see it. And so the Knight runners pick up 90 feet. Maverick Russell on the pass ball to third. Dakota Chun to second. 0-2 to Max Medina. Max with a chance for a 2-out, 2-run hit. 1-0 Knights, bottom of the first. However, Carl Molan Novash deserved a better fate in that the blue fly should have been caught, so he should have been out of this okay. He strikes out Medina on 3 pitches. The Knights get a run on 1 hit. They leave 2, and gosh, it's early. It's early, 6:56, but it's almost time to go to my first extra layer as the breezes begin to blow through the vantage point here adjacent to the McGrath family press box. After 1 on Star Wars night, the Knights 1, Yakima Valley nothing. Back in 90 on the Knights live stream and Joe Radio.
Rolling with the crew, where good vibes meet good times. Retro keys, vintage vibes, unlock your next adventure. Poop's got the hookup too, belly rubs included. Space to kick back, laugh out loud, and just be. Hit the pop shop for quick snacks and take in the moment, or just chill with your pup and soak up the good life. Stay original at Hotel Corvallis.
At Eugene Airport, we want to say thank you. Thank you to our community for choosing us to connect you to many destinations, other cultures, your families, and friends. Thank you to our dedicated and professional staff for ensuring the airport experience is excellent. And thank you to local residents and businesses for making us who we are. We are proud to serve you, our region, and beyond. Together, we continue to grow and thrive. Thank you for flying local and for flying EUG.
One nothing Knights to the top of the second inning. Parker Burt against Arlo Pendleton. First pitch, fastball low and inside. Arlo retired the Pippins in order in the first. Arlo works out of the stretch with nobody on. Kicks and comes back with a 1-0 and misses down and away. Ball 2. 2 balls and no strikes. Parker Burt, Brennan Aoki, and Max Workman, the scheduled hitters for Yakima Valley. I see a Chewbacca-type character walking through the stands, so Star Wars night is indeed alive and well. The bat seems to have life, too, for Parker Burt. He swings, and it goes flying between Kyle Crustangel and Knights third baseman Dakota Chun on a swing and a miss. The count to Parker Burt. 2 balls and a strike. Parker, a all-star rep for the Yakima Valley Pippins in Victoria a couple of weeks back from Mansfield, Texas, and traveling pretty well now in his collegiate career from Dallas College, North Lake, Murray State College to Dallas College, North Lake to Regis, and now will be completing his career at Ball State. Big, strapping, right-hand hitting catcher, 6'4", 220. Gets a little pine tar to put on the bat to get a better grip. With a count of 2 balls and a strike, he awaits with Brennan Aoki on deck. Swings at the fastball from Arlo, doesn't get it. 2 balls and 2 strikes, 1-0 Knights in the top of the second inning. Arlo settles in at the belt, delivers, breaking ball, swung on and missed, strike 3, 1 away. Second strikeout
now to play
consecutively for Arlo and his third of the ball game. And Brennan Aoki, the batter. Coach Bo Kearns told me before the game he's hoping to see 5 or 5+ from Arlo tonight. And to that end, so far so good. First pitch fastball to Aoki, a strike, the count 0-1. Brennan Aoki out of Emerald Ridge High School in Puyallup, attends Whitworth in Spokane. The 0-1 pitch down and away. 1 ball and 1 strike to Brennan Aoki, 1-0 Knights in the top of the second inning. Arlo Pendleton back to the plate. Slider in there. And the count 1-2. Max Workman on deck. Just met another member of the Albany Youth Orchestra between innings. 12-year-old Quinn Nims also on the violin. Talented youngsters coming to the ballpark tonight. The 1-2 pitch, speaking of talent, Pendleton delivers, swung on and missed. Strike three. 3 straight punch outs for Arlo. 2 down in the top of the second. Max Workman coming to the plate. Arlo has struck out 4 of the first 5 Pippins batters. Max Workman, right-handed hitter at the plate out of Meade High School in Spokane, attending Spokane Falls Community College. Fastball, laced to center, base hit. Max Workman becomes the first base runner of the evening for the Pippins. And Brandon Stone will be the batter. Brandon, the right-hand hitting shortstop,
number 9, Brandon
out of East Valley High School, a hometown kid from Yakima, and attends Washington State. Following the same path, evidently, of Scott Hatterberg, one of the more famous baseball players to come out of Yakima, and also played for the Cougs at Washington State. So a good path that Brandon Stone is on, having been paved before him by the outstanding Scott Hatterberg. There goes Workman. The pitch is a strike. The throw to second, not in time. Pretty good jump from Max Workman, who gets the stolen base. He's in scoring position with a count of 1 ball and 1 strike. Hatterberg is famed for many things. He began his career as a catcher, but his arm kind of, well, it just went south on him, and he was really a guy without a position. And the movie Moneyball, if you've seen it, or better yet, if you've read Michael Lewis's book, you are fairly familiar with the Hatterberg saga. The 1-1 pitch in there for a strike. And the count 1-2 to Brandon Stone. 1-0 Knights in the top of the second inning. It's the Yakima connection that interests me in terms of where Scott grew up, in Yakima. 1 ball, 2 strikes. Max Workman at second, 2 down. The 1-2 pitch from Arlo misses outside, ball 2. Hatterberg grew up a Mariners fan, yes, but also a huge fan of Donnie Baseball. Don Mattingly, who's doing an incredible job as an interim skipper now. But when he got to the big leagues, finally, happened to be against David Cohn and the Yankees in Seattle. Check swing on a 2-2 pitch. Did he go? Yes, according to base umpire Jim Courtney. Strike 3. Brandon Stone goes down trying to check the swing, and Arlo Pendleton strikes out the side. 5 of the 6 outs are punch outs for Arlo through 2 strong innings. Well, the pride of Yakima, Scott Hatterberg. I'll finish the tale when we go to the bottom of the second. But I like the story because of what it means to idolize somebody and what it can do to you if you do. We go to the bottom of the second. 1-0 Knights, back in 90 on the Knights live stream and Joe Radio.
Welcome. We're looking to switch and heard about OCCU. In 20 words, what makes OCCU different?
OCCU has free interest-earning checking, high-yield savings, and a community focus.
That's only 11.
We're the credit union with duck and beaver cards.
Sounds like OCCU has a lot to offer.
OCCU has been around for 70 years. We've learned a thing or two.
Switch to OCCU. Apply online at myoccu.org or at your local branch.
Rolling with the crew, where good vibes meet good times. Retro keys, vintage vibes, unlock your next adventure. Pups got the hookup too, belly rubs included. Space to kick back, laugh out loud, and just be. Hit the pop shop for quick snacks and take in the moment, or just chill with your pup and soak up the good life. Stay original at Hotel Corvallis.
1-0 Knights, bottom of the second. Carl Molan Kovash misses down and in. Ball 1 to Zane Garvey to open the second. The 1-0 pitch nicks Zane on the right knee, his front knee for the left-handed hitter. Zane heads down to first base. A leadoff hit batter last inning, a leadoff walk the Knights cashed in, leading it 1-0. Xavier Rios, the batter. I misspoke with respect to the major league debut for Scott Hatterberg. He was 25 years of age, working his way up through the Red Sox system to the minor leagues. He gets Xavier Rios the same treatment as Zane Garvey. First pitch, breaking ball, hits Xavier. Back-to-back hit batsman, Garvey to second, Xavier Rios to first, and Joey Morosco the batter, and perhaps up there to bunt. We'll see. First and second, nobody out, and catcher Parker Burt out for a visit with Molan Kovac. So in '92, after a long climb through the minors out of Yakima and Washington State, Hatterberg gets to the big leagues in a blowout game at the stadium. Playing for the Red Sox, Hatterberg is summoned out of the bullpen where he was catching to pinch hit. And as he by his own telling in the outstanding book by Michael Lewis, Moneyball, he was thinking, oh my gosh, if I get a base hit, I'm going to get the baseball and I'm going to get to meet my idol, Don Mattingly. 2 on, nobody out. We'll see if Joey's bunting with the Knights leading 1-0, and he is, and he takes down and away ball 1, 1-0. So here's Hatterberg working against David Cohn, and he lashes a ball to the gap in right center field for a sure double. Paul O'Neill doesn't really even hustle much after because he knows there's no point. It's going to be a double, so he's just sort of kind of jogging after, ready to make the play, and it's a sure double for Hatterberg. Breaking ball outside to Joey, again showing bunt, ball 2. Garvey at second, Rios at first, 1-0 Knights, bottom of the second. Hatterberg, in awe as he gets to first, takes his turn, and there's Don Mattingly in kind of in the baseline or near it in his vision, and he just stops running and kind of walks back to first. The pitch to Joey, he gets the bunt down. Molan Kovac in front of the mound, throws to first in time. Joey gets his job done on the sacrifice 1-4. 1 away, Garvey to third, Xavier Rios to second, and Diego Cruz coming to the plate trying to help the Knights add to their lead. It's 1-0, bottom of the second. Hatterberg's just in awe. Oh my gosh, Donnie Baseball, here he is. So a sure double. On the telecast, it was a national telecast, being that Bob Costas and Bob Euchre were working. Why didn't the kid go to second? What's going on? That was a sure double. He just stopped. And it was out of his awe for Mattingly. The Pippins bring everybody save their second baseman in. Brennan Aoki plays deep for Diego Cruz. That's an interesting alignment one doesn't see very often here. The pitch to Diego inside, ball 1, 1-0. The topper, though, is Mattingly looks at Hatterberg, who says, hi, Don, to him. The 1-0 pitch, a strike, and the count 1-1 to Diego. Mattingly doesn't say, nice to meet you, kid. Congratulations on your first hit, kid. He just says, hey, Rook, did anybody ever teach you where second base was? So that's his meeting with the man, Donnie Baseball, getting a base hit that should have been a double. And Mattingly giving him a little bit of the business for it. The 1-1 pitch hit foul towards the TNT Builders party deck, in and out of the hands of a fan on the deck down there. And the count goes to 1-2. Quite a moment for Hatterberg, and Scott is featured prominently, one of sort of exhibit A about the whole approach for Billy Beane and company to find a place for a guy that gets on base and walks a lot, and converted him to a first baseman. It's a very entertaining part of Moneyball. Diego looks at a called third on a breaking ball. Good pitch by Carl Molan Kovac. 2 down, Ethan Porter, the batter. That isn't exactly how Brooke Knight drew it up. 2-hit batters asked Joey to sacrifice, and now you got your leadoff hitter and a good hitter in Diego. But Diego looks at a called third. Now 2 down, everybody back at normal depth. Ethan Porter at the plate. The Knights RBI leader with a chance to get a couple more here. 1-0 Knights, bottom of the second inning. The first pitch, a breaking ball high to Ethan, ball 1, 1-0. Zane Garvey at third, Xavier Rios at second. 2 down. Molan Kovash, fastball up and away, ball 2, 2-0. Really good pitch to Diego Cruz for Carl's third strikeout. Left fielder Max Workman very deep in left, dealing with the sun and the wind blowing out. Porter with a good hitter's count. Looks at a breaking ball for a strike, and the count 2-1, and a good take by Ethan. Not a pitch in his wheelhouse by any means. He could be selective. Now he'll be looking to go on the attack. 2 balls and a strike. Garvey at third, Rios at second. The 2-1 pitch, he's out in front and fouls it. Back of the plate to even the count at 2 balls and 2 strikes. One nothing Knights, bottom of the second inning. 2 balls, 2 strikes, 2 on and 2 out. Molan Kovash delivers. Porter hits it high in the air, foul off first. The ball landing on top of the Omaha room and bouncing into Urchin Alley. 2 balls and 2 strikes to Ethan. Maverick Russell, the on-deck hitter. Molan Kovash peering in to Parker Burt. Garvey at third, Rios at second, 2 down. The 2-2 pitch to the backstop. Here comes Garvey to the plate, and he will score without a play. A wild pitch gets Zane Garvey home, and the Knights lead it 2-0. Xavier Rios to third. Now, there are times that backstop functions as sort of a pitch back. I hope some of you played with pitch backs when you were young. I haven't played with a pitch back for a long time, but I had one and played on it constantly in my youth. Sometimes our backstop here will indeed act like that. The ball can come back quickly to the catcher. So the runner at third, even though the ball was wildly thrown by Molan Kovash, has to make a read to make sure the ball doesn't come springing back. But a good read by Zane to score. The pitch to Porter down and away for ball 4. Maverick Russell, the batter. Runners at the corners, 2 down, 2-0 Knights. And I will expect Ethan Porter to be running, maybe even very early here, to try to make Parker Burt and the Pippins have to decide whether to throw through or not. Porter hopping away from the bag. He doesn't go. The pitch to Maverick, taken high and outside, ball 1, 1-0. Still trying to reconcile myself to the jump lead. I've seen too many guys in the kind of in the middle of the jump, impossible to pirouette back while in the air, get picked off. Porter looked as though he was trying to engage in it a moment ago. The 1-0 pitch, a strike, and the count 1-1. Having grown up watching Maurice Morning Wills and Lou Brock, and then later Ricky and Tim, and I mean even a little bit of Luis Aparicio, and I don't remember the jump lead with those guys, and they did okay for themselves. Porter hopping away from the bag at first. The pitch to Maverick Russell, pulled into right field, base hit. Xavier Rios trots home. Ethan Porter on his way to third and cruises in, standing up. Russell is 2 for 2 with 2 runs batted in, and the Knights lead it 3-0. Dakota Chun will be the batter. The Pippins have struggled on the bump of late, and that's an understatement, in that Yakima Valley over the last 6 games, including last night, made it 6 straight, have allowed at least 10 runs in their last 6. The Knights a run last inning, 2 here in the second. First and third, 2 down, a throw to first base, and Maverick Russell back to the bag. The young violinist Quinn Nims and her parents appear to be leaving the ballpark after Quinn has already performed her work beautifully. So does Dakota Chun. He whacks the 1-0 pitch into center field, base hit. Ethan Porter down the line to score. Dakota Chun, a run batted in, and the Knights lead it 4-0. Ryan Severns will be the batter. Ryan struck out in the first. Maverick Russell stopped at second. Dakota Chun with a solid base hit to center field. Dakota's 12th run batted in. Molan Kovash throws the fastball high and inside to Severns. Ball 1, 1-0. And the pitching coach will ask for time now. Ethan Solscheider heading out to the hill for a conversation with Carl Molan Kovash, trying to get the glasses on, using the binoculars as a paperweight now, so it's a perilous decision to take him off the papers with the wind blowing around. Just trying to see if there's anyone throwing in the bullpen at the moment. No, there's some movement going on down there. People walking around, stretching out a little bit, but no one actively throwing back of Molan Kovash here in the bottom of the second with the Knights in front 4-0. Ryan Severns with a count of 1 ball and no strikes. So waits Carl. Molan Kovash to the plate. Fastball up. Ball 2. 2-0. Yakima Valley coming into the league in 2014. Won the division title that first year. Eliminated by the Knights in playoff action in 2016 and 2021. Part of that 7 straight years of championship baseball for the Knights. 2016 through 2023 with the interruption of the COVID year in 20. Breaking ball strike and the count 2-1 to Severns. The Knights eliminated in the first round of the playoffs in each of the last 2 years, just trying to make their way into the playoffs. They're not quite there yet, but drawing closer. Leading this one 4-0. A win tonight puts them virtually in. Severns a high fly ball to left. Max Workman backs up a couple of steps and makes the catch. The inning is over, but the Knights get 3, taking advantage of 2 hit batsmen, a walk, a wild pitch, and a couple of clutch 2-out singles from Maverick Russell and Dakota Chun. We are through 2. The Knights 4, Yakima Valley nothing. Back in 90 on the Knights live stream and Joe Radio.
It's time for Dizzy Lightsaber. We have
Welcome. We're looking to switch and heard about OCCU. In 20 words, what makes OCCU different?
OCCU has free interest-earning checking, high-yield savings, and a community focus.
That's only 11.
We're the credit union with duck and beaver cards.
Sounds like OCCU has a lot to offer.
OCCU has been around for 70 years. We've learned a thing or two.
Switch to OCCU. Apply online at myoccu.org or at your local branch.
Four 4-0 Knights as we move to the top of the third inning. Yash Gupta leads things off. First ball swinging, a drive to left. Back on the ball goes Zane Garvey. He turns and makes the catch. Nice play. Tough play because with that sun shining as brightly as it is and the wind blowing out, there's a lot to deal with there. And Zane did a good job to go back and get it. Yash Gupta, good contact but an out, one away in the third. Cole French, the hitter. Cole, an incoming freshman to Yakima Valley College out of North Thurston High School in Olympia. Takes a first pitch fastball on the inside corner for a strike. 0-1 to Cole. Leadoff hitter Tyson Miller on deck. 4-0 Knights. Top of the third inning. The series finale and homestand regular season finale tomorrow. 5:05 on Fan Appreciation Night. All kinds of gifts and prizes to lucky fans, and Thanksgiving for the support again in another great summer of Knights baseball. Coming down the stretch, the pitch missing down and away, 1 ball and 1 strike the count. Good crowd in tonight. We hope to see a lot of you here tomorrow. And then again, when the Knights, if indeed they play their way into the postseason, we'll have at least 1 home game in the second season. The pitch missing to Cole French, ball 2, 2-1. The 2-1 fastball, good pitch under the hand. Swung on and missed by Cole. That evens the count at 2 balls and 2 strikes with 1 out here in the third. 4-0 Corvallis. The Knights taking 2 of 3 last weekend in Yakima. 2-2 breaking ball, a little bit high. Ball 3. 3 balls and 2 strikes the count with 1 out, nobody on. Arlo Pendleton set. The right-hander delivers. A ground ball to short. Ryan Severns plays a second hop, fires a strike to first, 2 down. Five strikeouts thus far for Arlo Pendleton. And speaking of a good baseball movie, and Moneyball is really well cast. Billy Beane was a good-looking man, but I did ask Billy once, what do you think about Brad Pitt? He said, man, I knew Billy through. He was a teammate of Big Jim Wilson's and Pat Casey's and others with the Portland Beavers in an infamous 45 and 96 year. I was with Pat Casey once when he called Billy Beane up, and we were chatting about Moneyball and other things. The 1-0 pitch, missing low, ball 2. He put him on speakerphone. It was a fun moment on a road trip with Case and the Beavers years ago. And he did, he said, I've always thought I was a good-looking guy, but not that good-looking. 2 balls and no strikes. Pendleton delivers a fastball for a strike, and the count 2-1 to Tyson Miller, who struck out looking in the first. But a really entertaining movie. But Arlo Pendleton, one of the great baseball movies ever, Bull Durham, delivers a 2-1 pitch. Has been a little bit more democratic in the Crash Davis view of the world. Strikeouts are fascist, he said. Use other guys. Using your defense, more democratic approach to pitching. 2 outs without a strikeout thus far. Now the 3-1 pitch, he's going to get the out himself, I believe. He fires a strike and pulls after getting the swinging bunt on the pitch to Tyson Miller. The fastball pulls Maverick Russell off the bag. It's a throwing error on right-hander Arlo Pendleton, pulling Maverick Russell off the bag. And Tommy Lamb, the batter. And maybe that's why Arlo now just take it back into his own hands to try to get the out, third out by strikeout. A little safer approach. But after getting a couple of teammates involved, he now goes to work with a ground ball wide of third towards the shortstop, Severns, who kind of punches it off his glove towards Dakota Chun. No play anywhere. Brooks Hatch has a decision to make, and he's going to give Ryan Severns an error, putting Tommy Lamb aboard. Back-to-back errors on the Knights after 2 quick outs. An error on Pendleton, an error on Ryan Severns. A tough one, because even if Ryan fields cleanly, it would have been a close play at first. Even so, an error charged by Brooks Hatch, the John Simon of scorekeepers. You really need to earn your hits with him. Diego Davis takes a strike and the count 0-1. And I like Brooks' high standards. But he gives the pitcher the benefit of the doubt in most occasions and does so here for Pendleton. And the Pippins trying to rise up here now, down 4-0 after 2 quick outs, 2 on and 2 out. The strike 1 pitch misses just inside, ball 1. On this Star Wars night, just for the fun of it, I consulted my John Simon volume. I was talking about him, if you recall, the other day, the outstanding film critic, collection of essays on films by John Simon entitled Reverse Angle, breaking ball down and away, the count 2-1 to Diego Davis. 4-0 Knights in the third. Tyson Miller aboard on an error at second. Tommy Lamb aboard on an error at third. I remember years ago reading Simon's review of Star Wars, and it was not complimentary. The 2-1 pitch, chop foul at the plate, and the count 2-2. Simon, curmudgeonly indeed, but he destroyed, just ripped Star Wars, the second film, apart. Kind of like the first one, but The Empire Strikes Back, which I love, it's my favorite. So just because I like John Simon doesn't mean I agree with everything. But it's his ripping of Empire Strikes Back is hilarious. 2 balls, 2 strikes, 2 on, 2 out. Pendleton delivers high. Ball 3, 3-2. It took a lot for him to like a movie, but he just, he rips it. In the sequel, he writes, everything is stale, limp, desperately stretched out, and pretentious. And without innocence, he adds. The runners will go on the pitch. The 3-2 offering. Boy, here's an unearned run if ever there was one. A line drive base hit into left center field. Ryan Severns ducking out of the way of the line drive, but he didn't have a chance to catch it anyway. It gets caught in the path of the sun. Diego Davis an RBI single, and it's now the Knights 4 and Yakima Valley 1. Tyson Miller coming in to score. Tommy Lamb to third. Parker Burt the batter. 4-1 Knights with Parker Burt coming to the plate. Parker struck out in the second. We're in the third, and indeed an unearned run, and 2 outs, nobody on, and back-to-back errors. The Pippins trying to continue to take advantage of the largesse. The pitch on the way to Burt, a ground ball off the glove of the pitcher, Arlo Pendleton, into the hands of second baseman Diego Cruz, who throws to first for the out, and the damage is limited, but the 2 errors lead to an unearned run. The putout on Parker Burt, 1-4-3. To retire the side. An unearned run for the Pippins. They leave 2. We go to the bottom of the third. The Knights 4 and the Pippins 1. Back in 90 on the Knights live stream and Joe Radio. Four to one Knights to the bottom of the third inning.
Now batting center field, number 2,
Leading things off for the Knights will be Max Medina against Carl Molan Kovash. Max followed by Zane Garvey and then Xavier Rio. The pitch to Medina, fastball on the inner half for a strike. Max struck out in the first. The strike one pitch, Max swings and fouls it at the plate. The count quickly, no balls and 2 strikes. Knights baseball brought to you by financial advisor Chris Scariano in Albany. The strike 2 pitch to Medina, outside ball 1. I enjoyed almost a full day in Albany waiting for a phone to be repaired. A phone with so many texts and contacts and videos and photos and files. A phone that crapped out in Vegas. Finally today, and needed to leave it at the place all day long. The pitch to Medina on the 1-2 offer, and he rolls over on it. A ground ball to Aoki, slow to get rid of the ball, and just does get Medina. Boy, Aoki, a little too casual on getting the ball out of the webbing of the glove and transferred for the throw. And Medina, to his great credit, hustling down the line. And Brooke Knight, in fact, thinks that his guy Medina beat the throw. I mean, it was kind of stunning to look up and see that the play was close. I'm not sure what was going on with Brennan, but he should have had the out in quicker and more decisive order than he got. And he may be fortunate that he was able to get the out and the assist. Based on what Brooke Knight thinks. Brooke, hands on his hip, still staring across at Jim Courtney, who he thinks booted the call. Zane Garvey takes a strike, 0-1 the count. 4-1 Knights, bottom of the third. Fastball up. The count 1-1. Chris Scariano has worked with individuals, small and large businesses, and other organizations for over a quarter of a century. He is in downtown Albany near the Carousel at 150 Southwest Calapooya. Sweet C. Fly ball to shallow left. Max Workman moving over. And then at the last moment, with the sun and the wind at play, kind of staggered back and reached up and caught the ball. A couple of adventuresome outs on what appeared to be routine in both cases. 2 down, which is the important thing, of course, for Carl Molan Kovash. However the outs come, they've come. 2 down, nobody on for Xavier Rios, one of 2 hit batters last inning who came in to score. In fact, 3 free passes, 2 hit batters and a walk, and those 3 guys scored. 4-1 Knights, off speed, swung on and missed to Xavier. 0-1 the count. Two outs, nobody on in the bottom of the third. The strike 1 pitch, breaking ball away. The count 1-1. Wandering around downtown Albany while the phone was being fixed and all of that, so much of it. They still don't have all of it done. Left it there for 4.5, 5 hours. Still more data needs to be transferred. I'm grateful that they knew how to do it because I thought it was lost forever. Texts, a few texts, for example, from the late, great Bill Walton, a voicemail from Bill Walton. I mean, you don't want to, you know, those I thought were lost forever, but they were able to get them transferred, so I'm deeply grateful. 2 balls and a strike to Xavier Rios. 2 outs, nobody on. Molan Kovash to the plate. Rios pops one up on the left side. Shortstop Brandon Stone at the rim. Straight away short, makes the catch, and the Knights go in order. But walking downtown in Albany on 1st Avenue, getting to meet some old friends, and we sat down over a cup of Jamo and broke down every film ever made. So it was a good day in Albany. At the end of 3, it remains the Knights 4 and Albany. I was in Albany too long today. The Knights 4 and Yakima Valley 1. Back in 90 on the Knights live stream and Joe Radio.
Force be with you.
And there we have it. Thank you, Kevin, for playing.
Star Wars trivia as we move on Star Wars night through 3 innings at Goss Stadium at Coleman Field. The Knights 4 runs, 3 hits, and 2 errors. Yakima Valley 1 run, 2 hits, and no errors. Brendan Aoki takes in the turf from Arlo Pendleton. 1 ball and no strikes. Ooh, Arlo's 1-0 fastball up and in. I gave a empathetic ooh because I thought that was going to drill Aoki. Brendan does bend out of the way. The count goes to 2 balls and no strikes. Max Workman, the on-deck hitter, 4-1 Knights in the 4th. Arlo's 2-0 pitch, that's high, ball 3. Arlo Pendleton and Xavier Rios. The Knights battery, Maverick Russell at first, Diego Cruz at second, Ryan Severns at short, Dakota Chun at third, Zane Garvey in left, Max Medina in center, Joey Morosco in right, and the 3-0 pitch is inside for ball 4. The first free pass issued by right-hander Arlo Pendleton. That'll bring Max Workman to the plate. Max singled to center field and stole second in the second inning. The Knights committing 2 errors last inning, allowing the Pippins to score. Now a leadoff walk. Workman the pitch to Workman, a ground ball to short, fielded by Severns to Cruz for 1, on to first. Double play. The walk erased very quickly on the 6-4-3 double play ball. Workman for the second straight time, first ball swinging. It worked out better for him last time. Base hit to center. Last inning here, a ground ball, 6-4-3 double play. 2 down, Brandon Stone, who struck out in the second, coming to the plate. Base is empty now for Arlo Pendleton. He throws a fastball behind Brandon Stone. Couple of pitches this inning have gotten the entire crowd, of which I include myself, to woo, look out. Way inside, in fact, behind Stone. 1-0 to Brandon. Arlo Pendleton delivers, misses low, ball 2. 2-0 to Stone. Arlo works from the stretch with nobody on and comes back with a 2-0 pitch. Change, swung on and missed. The count 2-1. Good looking pitch and be able to command it 2-0. 2-1 the count. Arlo back to the plate, fastball in there for a strike. 2-2 the count to Brandon Stone. 5 strikeouts through the first 2 innings, none last inning. Has a chance to get one here. The 2-2 pitch, and he does. Swung on and missed, strike 3. Brandon Stone goes down, and after the leadoff walk, right-hander Arlo Pendleton comes back to face the minimum. We go to the bottom of the 4th inning. It remains the Knights 4, Yakima Valley 1, back in 90 on the Knights live stream and Joe Radio.
At Eugene Airport, we want to say thank you. Thank you to our community for choosing us to connect you to many destinations, other cultures, your families, and friends. Thank you to our dedicated and professional staff for ensuring the airport experience is excellent. And thank you to local residents and businesses for making us who we are. We are proud to serve you, our region, and beyond. Together, we continue to grow and thrive. Thank you for flying local and for flying EUG.
Bottom of the fourth inning, 4-1 Knights. Joey Morosco leads things off, takes the first pitch, breaking ball from big right-hander Carl Molan Kovash, who's gone all the way, down and away, ball one, 1-0. Carl back to the plate, breaking ball away, ball two. Joey with a sacrifice in the second inning. Finished up last night's game when the Knights, who led 11-2, saw the Pippins fight back to cut it to 11-6 and were still threatening in the ninth. And Joey was called in from center field. And I wondered, most players at this level, usually good. I mean, you're good if you're playing at this level. Very good. And it means you probably were among the best players on your baseball team and your youth teams growing up, so I assume Joey must have pitched at one point in life. The pitch to Joey is high for ball three. 3-0 the count. Molan Kovash comes back and delivers a strike, and the count 3-1. I was right in a sense, but Steve Zabriskie texted and said that's the first time Joey had pitched in a game since he was 12 years old. The 3-1 pitch, he swings and hits one off the glove of Molan Kovash and into center field. Base hit, a very aggressive turn by Joey. Really like to see that. The ball brought back in by Tommy Lamb, but a good, solid single to center for Joey Morosco, and Diego Cruz will come to the plate. But Joey came in, and I'm not exactly sure why he had to be with the Knights just looking for that 27th out. Far too many free passes in the late innings, allowing the Pippins to kind of sniff getting back into the game. But Joey came in and got the job done, just kind of throwing the ball over the plate. Looked like he knew what he was doing, not overpowering anybody, but did a good job to get the out the Knights needed to put the win in the books. Now he's the right fielder tonight. He gets a leadoff single here in the fourth, and now Joey's thinking about third. He takes a turn and will hold on a solid single to right by Diego Cruz. Diego hit it too hard to enable Joey Morosco, with nobody out, to keep digging to try to go to third base. So first and second and nobody out. Back-to-back base hits for the Knights here in the bottom of the fourth, leading 4-1. Ethan Porter, the batter. Coach Knight goes through a series of signals at third. Many hitters in this situation for Brook through the years would be asked to bunt, and it's not out of the question that Ethan would be too. But he is the Knights' leading RBI man, so we'll see how Brook wants to play it. 2 on, nobody out. Ethan's not bunting. He swings and pulls one foul down the left field line into the corner. No balls and 1 strike. For 3 generations, Wilson Motors has been proud to call Corvallis home. Since 1940, the Wilson family has helped local families, students, and businesses find the right vehicle while supporting the community along the way. Wilson Motors, a fixture in our community since the Ernie Lombardi era in 1940 in the World Series. 2 on, nobody out. Porter is bunting now and bunts foul towards Maverick Russell in the on-deck area. 0-2 the count. Now, Coach Knight turning Ethan loose for 1 rip at it, and Ethan got himself a pretty good swing, but pulled it foul, and now he bunts foul, and now he's down in the count. No balls and 2 strikes with 2 on and nobody out. The bunt certainly off now, and Ethan looking for the 2-strike approach. Joey Morosco at second, Diego Cruz at first. Porter quite capable of using the whole field and shortening up with 2 strikes. Carl to the plate, and the fastball hits Ethan Porter. Ethan slings the bat away, not pleased. I think he's going to be all right. He gets his base, and from an 0-2 count to a base isn't a bad thing, but Ethan kind of walking up the line, I think a little bit frustrated by the fact that another Knights batter has been hit. And with a little Star Wars ominous music playing in the background, the pitching coach for Yakima Valley heads back to the mound, Ethan Salscheider. The Knights have the bases loaded and nobody out. The third hit batter to go with 3 walks. And Coach Salscheider heads back into the dugout on the first base side. The Knights leading 4-1, have the bases loaded and nobody out for Maverick Russell. Russell's trying to go Tate Hammond here tonight. Tate had 5 runs batted in the Knights' 11-6 victory in the series opener last night. Maverick Russell at the plate has 2. He swings and hits a ground ball to the first baseman. The throw to the plate is in time for the force. Cole French throwing out Maverick Russell on the fielder's choice, 3-2. 1 away. So Maverick misses out on an RBI opportunity. Dakota Chun, who has walked and singled home a run, coming to the plate. Bases loaded, 1 out. Good play by Cole French. Ball hit sharply enough that even though he wasn't playing in, was able to play from back of the bag and make the strong throw. Now he is even with the bag at first for Dakota Chun with 1 out and the bases loaded. The pitch to Dakota misses a little bit high, ball 1. 1 ball and no strikes. Diego Cruz at third, Ethan Porter at second, Maverick Russell at first, 1 out. The infield to double play depth up the middle. The pitch to Chun very high, and Parker Bird rising out of his catcher's crouch to snag it. 2 balls and no strikes to Dakota. Ryan Severns on deck. There is some activity back of Carl Molan Kovash now for the Pippins here in the 4th. Dakota tried to check his swing on a breaking ball down and in, and apparently did so. No swing, says base umpire Jim Courtney. The count to Dakota, 3 balls and no strikes. Dakota with a chance for a run batted in here. With the bases loaded, 1 out. 3-0 the count. The pitch to Chun, wild into the backstop. I mean, the youngster to my left, I think, put it appropriately. A young man in a Star Wars outfit, when he saw that pitch, just said, what the heck? It's kind of what we were all thinking. I mean, it sailed high and away as though it slipped out of the fingertips of Carl Molan Kovac. Dakota Chun getting the bases loaded walk and run batted in. Diego Cruz down the line to score. The Knights lead at 5-1. And Coach Crustangel will go to the bullpen now. Molan Kovac comes out with the bases loaded and 1 out. The Knights leading 5-1. Ryan Severns will be the hitter when we return with the bases loaded, 1 away. 5-1 Knights. A pitching change. Back in 2 on the Knights live stream and Joe Radio.
At Eugene Airport, we want to say thank you. Thank you to our community for choosing us to connect you to many destinations, other cultures, your families, and friends. Thank you to our dedicated and professional staff for ensuring the airport experience is excellent. And thank you to local residents and businesses for making us who we are. We are proud to serve you, our region, and beyond. Together, we continue to grow and thrive. Thank you for flying local and for flying EUG.
Cameron Shirrips is the new pitcher for Yakima Valley in the bottom of the 4th inning, with the Knights leading 5-1. Bases loaded, 1 out. Tough situation for Cameron to inherit, with the Knights looking to try to bust this one open here in the bottom of the 4th inning. First pitch breaking ball in there for a strike to Ryan, who has struck out and flied to left. No balls and 1 strike the count. Ryan swings and lines it into right field. Base hit. Ethan Porter scores. Right behind him is Maverick Russell. He will score. Into third base goes Dakota Chun, and Severns into second with a 2-run double. The Knights lead it 7-1. A rude greeting for Cameron Shirrips, young man out of Layton, Utah, and attending Yakima Valley College. Max Medina will be the hitter. 7-1 Knights. A run in the first, 3 in the second, 3 more here in the 4th, and have a chance to add to it with Max Medina at the plate. The infield in, second and third, and 1 out. First pitch fastball in there for a strike from Shirrips. No balls and 1 strike the count. The 0-1 pitch, Medina takes away, ball 1, 1-1. The infield all pulled in. Cole French at first, Brendan Aoki at second, Brandon Stone at short, Yash Gupta at third. Medina swings, a line drive to right field, a diving attempt made, and the ball not caught by Tyson Miller. Only Dakota Chun will score because Severns had to make sure the ball was not caught. But Severns does move to third on the RBI single for Max Medina. Tyson Miller laid out in right field, wasn't able to haul it in. And the Knights continue now to pull away in the bottom of the 4th, leading it 8-1 with Zane Garvey coming to the plate. Zane was hit by a pitch and scored a run in the second, flied to left field last inning. Bottom of the 4th, there goes Medina, no throw from the catcher Parker Burt. And Medina in with a Pape Material Handling stolen base. Pape Material Handling, the Knights have teamed up again this summer, supporting Community Outreach Inc. $25 a piece from Pape and the Knights for every Knights stolen base. Pape Material Handling. The 1-0 pitch to Garvey, a ground ball to second with the infield at normal depth. Brennan Aoki fields and throws Zane Garvey out, but Zane picks up the run batted in with Ryan Severns coming down the line to score. 5 runs in the inning for the Knights, who have opened up now a commanding 9-1 lead. On the play, Max Medina to third. 2 down, Xavier Rios, the batter. Xavier has been hit by a pitch and popped to short, and he lines the first pitch into left field. Base hit. Max Workman playing it on a couple of hops. Xavier Rios holds it first on the long single, and the Knights have reached that 10-run threshold again at the expense of the embattled pitching staff for the Yakima Valley Pippins. Max Medina coming down the line to score the 6th run of the inning, and that's 7 consecutive games that Yakima Valley has allowed at least 10 runs. The Knights lead it 10-1 in the 4th. Joey Morosco, who led the inning off with a base hit to center field, getting his second at-bat of this 4th inning, with the Knights taking command again. Joey swings at an 0-1 breaking ball, hits it foul to the right off the netting just beyond the Pippins dugout. 0-2 to Joey, who was sacrificed and singled. The Knights closing in on another playoff appearance. Tonight, a big step in that direction if they're able to bring this one home. The strike 2 pitch, a 1-hopper fielded impressively by Parker Burt. 1 ball and 2 strikes the count to Joey Morosco, his second plate appearance of this bottom of the 4th. 6 runs across as the Knights break it open. The 1-2 pitch swung on and missed. Strike 3. Joey inquires, did I swing at a strike? I think the answer was yes. The inning is over, but a huge inning it is for the Corvallis Knights. 6 runs, 5 hits, no errors, 1 left. We go to the 5th in this penultimate home game of the regular season. The Knights 10 and Yakima Valley 1, back in 90 on the Knights live stream and Joe Radio.
No matter what team you're on, no matter where you explore, there's a Richardson for you. We don't just give you our word, we give you our name. We started over 50 years ago as a hometown sporting goods business, with a particular devotion to America's pastime. As we grew, so did demand for our products, both on and off the field of play. Today we serve teams, brands, and businesses, and we've earned our reputation as the best. We did it through our devotion to our craft and our customers. We've built our business on the spirit of competition and the thrill of adventure, with a relentless focus on details and an enduring commitment to quality in every stitch. We've set a high bar for ourselves because you've made our team part of your team. And your team deserves the best.
Ten to 1 Knights to the top of the 5th inning. Yash Gupta will lead things off for the Knights for Yakima Valley against Knights right-hander Arlo Pendleton. Fastball inside. Ball 1 to Yash. Gupta flied to left field in the 3rd. Arlo's 1-0 pitch hit sharply in the air, but right at shortstop Ryan Severns, who makes the catch. 1 away in the top of the 5th. Cole French coming up. Yash out of Union City, California, attends Whitworth. Went to James Logan High School. Had a good spring at Whitworth, hitting .333, stole 11 bags. 0 for 2 tonight. Cole French, the batter. The first pitch to Cole bounced up there by Arlo Pendleton. 1 ball and no strikes. 10 to 1 Knights. Top of the 5th inning. Arlo's 1-0 pitch, that's low for ball 2. 2-0 the count. Block 15 was established in 2008. Block 15 Brewing in Corvallis aims to elevate excellence in the craft beer experience, measured by endless passion and drive for accessible brilliance. The 2-0 pitch, fastball low, ball 3, 3-0. Once again this summer, we hope you've enjoyed Block 15 beers at the Block 15 Beer Garden here at Goss. And after the ball game, be sure to visit Block 15 at their downtown pub or Southtown Tap Room. Arlo's 3-0 pitch, high and inside for ball 4. Second walk yielded by Arlo Pendleton. He has the luxury of a 10 to 1 lead. A little bit of activity will begin now in the bullpen back of Arlo, who's probably in his final inning of work. Tyson Miller, the hitter. Tyson, left-hand hitting right fielder, has struck out and been aboard on an error. He has scored the lone run for the Pippins unearned. He takes low and inside, ball 1, 1-0. 5:05 tomorrow for the homestand and regular season home finale. Bo Kearns seeing a 4-pitch walk to open the inning, and ball 1 to Tyson Miller. Asks for time and heads out to the mound. A conversation with Arlo Pendleton. Sometimes with the lead growing as much as it has, it's natural in a sense, maybe to lose a little bit of the edge and the concentration. And maybe that's Bo just trying to get Arlo back kind of in focus on the task of filling up the zone. The 1-0 pitch to that end is a strike, and the count 1-1. 10-1 Knights, top of the 5th inning. The 1-1 pitch to Miller, down and in, ball 2. 2-1. Fan Appreciation Night tomorrow. Another good summer of Knights baseball. And just stay tuned. Stay apprised of the Knights in the playoff picture. Fastball hit foul. It's a near certainty. That's almost oxymoronic, yes, I know, but that the Knights will be in the postseason again. You can follow at CorvallisKnights.com or the West Coast League website in the days ahead, and hope to see you out here on the unscheduled home game or games that are to come. The 2-2 pitch, missing high and away, ball 3, 3-2. Playoff games are tricky when it comes to fans, and you look at the calendar, you get your pocket schedule, your magnet schedule, and all that. The pitch on the way, 3-2, is hit on one hop to Cruz, feeds Severns for 1, on to first for 2, double play. The inning is over. You really need to kind of be all in on what a club is doing and know, hey, the playoffs, let's go. And fans who plan to come out to the Knights during the course of the summer don't have those games on their refrigerator or on their phone or whatever else. So we hope that you'll stay in close touch with what's happening with respect to postseason. We look forward to seeing you here sometime next week. A 4-6-3 double play ball. A good outing tonight for Arlo Pendleton. I believe that'll be his final inning of work. We go to the bottom of the 5th. The Knights 10, the Pippins 1, back in 90 on the Knights live stream and Joe Radio.
Rolling with the crew, where good vibes meet good times. Retro keys, vintage vibes, unlock your next adventure. Poop's got the hookup too, belly rubs included. Space to kick back, laugh out loud, and just be. Hit the pop shop for quick snacks and take in the moment, or just chill with your pup and soak up the good life. Stay original at Hotel Corvallis.
Bottom of the 5th inning, 10-1 Knights. Cameron Schifrin's to the plate to Diego Cruz, leading things off for the Knights, and misses outside. Ball 1, 1-0. Schifrin's back to the plate, delivers a slider for a strike, and the count 1-1. Diego last inning, a double to right field. He takes low and inside. The count goes to 2-1. He has walked and scored and struck out. The 2-1 pitch sails outside, ball 3, 3-0. Shiprin's come set, the 3-1 pitch, up and away for ball 4. CorvallisKnights.com, the place to find out all of the information, to get tickets and so on. Tomorrow, Fan Appreciation Night, 5:05, presented by Les Schwab Tires. I mentioned playoff games can be tricky. I think you have heard, most of you have, if you followed baseball at all, know baseball at all, and even just a smidgen of history of baseball. The pitch on the way to Ethan, high and inside, ball 1. You've heard of the shot heard around the world, not when it applies to the Revolutionary War, but maybe something as important as George Will would say, baseball. The 1-0 pitch, a strike, and the count 1-1. Of course, I'm not at all serious, not really. But the shot heard around the world in a baseball sense, October 3rd, 1951, at the Polo Grounds, the Miracle at Coogan's Bluff. A throw to first, Diego dives back. 10-1 Knights here in the bottom of the 5th. The Polo Grounds, October 3rd, 1951. It's as famous a baseball game as a single game maybe as ever in the history of the sport. The 1-1 pitch, Ethan hits one over my head down into Urchin Alley. Urchin Alley has not been especially active yet tonight, and there are no urchins, in fact, in the alley. That tells me how quiet the whole situation has been. The first action there tonight. The 1-2 pitch, Porter, a fly ball to center. Tommy Lamb backs up a couple of steps, makes the catch. 1 away. Maverick Russell to the plate. So that's the setup for what I'm about to tell you when it comes to playoff games being tricky. We're a long way removed, I understand, from Coogan's Bluff and October 3, 51, Russ Hodges in the most famous sports call maybe ever. Certainly the most famous baseball call ever, and it might be the most famous sports call in the history of the craft of broadcasting. Diego Cruz bluffed. Parker Burt thought that Diego was going, and he throws through and nobody covered. The ball goes into center field. And Cruz into second on the throwing error by Parker Burt, but it's kind of a shared error in the sense that Cruz bluffing didn't go. Brandon Stone, the shortstop, and Brennan Aoki didn't cover. Burt threw. And it's an error on him, and Cruz is at second. Maverick Russell takes a strike, and the count 1-1. 10-1 Knights, bottom of the 5th inning. Cameron Shifrins looks back at Diego. Breaking ball to Maverick, pulled foul. 1-2 the count. Russ Hodges and his hysterical but outstanding, the Giants win the pennant, the Giants, you know that. Okay, everybody sort of kind of knows that. The Polo Grounds had a capacity of 60,000. 1 ball and 2 strikes. The 1-2 fastball away, and the count 2-2. 60,000. This is the game, maybe as famous a game in baseball history, October 3, 51. And it drew 34,000 people when they had a lot more tickets remaining for it. A kind of an unscheduled extra playoff game. 34 saw the Giants win the pennant game with a stadium that sat 60. That to me is unbelievable as numbers go in the history of baseball. The 3-2 pitch, breaking ball outside, ball 4 to Maverick Russell. Dakota Chun, who has walked twice and singled to center, will come to the plate. 2 walks in the inning. We're in the bottom of the 5th. The Knights leading 10-1. We were talking, my friends in downtown Albany today, about a lot of things. Films, books, baseball, The Natural. Bernard Malamud, who wrote The Natural on this campus at Oregon State. The pitch is in there for a strike to Dakota Chun, the count 0-1. We were talking about Don DeLillo, who had a whole chapter on that game in his book Underworld. Very incredible novel by DeLillo. My favorite chapter, of course, Pafko at the Wall, about the celebrities and everybody attending that game October 3 of 51. The 1-1 pitch to Dakota Chun, high and away, ball 2, 2-1. But far from a sellout. I'm not sure I've ever fully understood that. Dakota Cruz is going to third. He doesn't draw a throw, a pump fake this time with Parker Bird hanging on to the ball. Diego Cruz into third with a steal, his second of the night. Runners at the corners and 1 out. Dakota Chun with a good RBI opportunity here. 10-1 Knights in the bottom of the 5th. The pitch from Schifrin's misses outside, ball 4. 3 more walks in the inning, 6 in the game to go with 3 hit batters, and that is a tale in itself of kind of explaining why the numbers have been so out of order with respect to Yakima Valley pitching here of late, giving up now at least 10 runs in 7 consecutive games, and the Knights looking to add on here, up 10-1, bases loaded, 1 out. The pitch to Ryan Severns, high and away, ball 1. Ryan is struck out, flied to left, and doubled home 2 in the Knights' 6-run inning, last inning. We're in the fourth. We're in the bottom of the 5th. The ground ball towards short, fielded by Stone to Aoki for 1. Aoki throws wide to first, doesn't get the double play, and the Knights are going to get 2 runs on the throwing error by Brennan Aoki. Diego Cruz scores, Maverick Russell right behind him to score, and the Knights lead it 12-1. No run batted in for Ryan Severns as he bounces into the fielder's choice, 6-4, and the throwing error on Aoki enabling the second run to score. Take that back. Severns will get an RBI on the play, as one cannot assume a double play, even though if the throw had been made accurately, it would have been, and the inning would be over. So give Severns an RBI. He has 3 in the game. The Knights lead at 12-2. Ryan at first. The pitch to Max Medina in there for a strike. The 0-1 offering just misses. 1 ball and 1 strike the count. The Slovakian U20 national team back for a 4th straight night. They must be getting to, and I don't want to put it in a negative sense at all. Like, well, they don't have anything else to do around here. No, I mean, yeah, let's go back to the baseball game again. No, I can tell they're having a good time, and they're back here in good numbers. 8 or 9 members of the team here at the ballpark. 4th night in a row that the U20 Slovakian track and field team, the national team competing in the Worlds next weekend, the U20 Worlds at Hayward Field next weekend, and training here in Corvallis at the White Track and Field Center. Ground ball to first, fielded by Cole French. Cole steps on the bag, and the inning is over. The Knights get 2 more runs. And as Ross Durfeld said, 2 runs on 0 hits. Not no, we live in the era of 0 and the 2-2. But 2 runs on 0 hits, 2 errors, and 1 left. We are through 5, the Knights 12, and the Yakima Valley Pippins 1. A pitching change coming up for the Knights. We'll be back in 2 on the Knights live stream, back in 2 on Joe Radio.
At Eugene Airport, we want to say thank you. Thank you to our community for choosing us to connect you to many destinations, other cultures, your families, and friends. Thank you to our dedicated and professional staff for ensuring the airport experience is excellent. And thank you to local residents and businesses for making us who we are. We are proud to serve you, our region, and beyond. Together, we continue to grow and thrive. Thank you for flying local and for flying EUG.
Top of the 6th inning, 12-1 Knights. Micah Hagler goes to work on Tommy Lamb. Fastball misses high and inside. 1-0 the count. Jim Courtney, the base umpire, talking to Micah Hagler about some sort of mechanical issue with how Micah is coming to a set position or not coming to a set position as he works to the hitter, Tommy Lamb. The 1-0 pitch, Lamb a blooping fly ball into shallow left center field that'll drop for a base hit. Lamb with a leadoff single to center. Diego Davis, who has an RBI single and a strikeout, coming to the plate, the designated hitter for the Pippins, who trail it 12-1 in the top of the 6th inning.
Number 20, Diego Davis.
The Mariners with a walk-off win today, I think, right, Sydney, if you're listening? I think the Mariners won today over the Twins at home. They need to start stacking them again, as they finished last year in a very impressive way and came within 5 outs of the World Series. It's been a very disappointing year for the Mariners in 26. Diego Davis a strike and the count 0-1. It's their 50th anniversary, and I was thinking about crowds and surprisingly small crowds for big events in the history of the game. The Giants win the pennant. The Giants win the pennant, 26,000 shy of a sellout. And yet it's one of the more iconic games in sports history. 1 ball and 1 strike to Diego Davis in the 6th. Fastball grounded to the right of shortstop Ryan Severns. He'll get the sure out at first, and a good decision by Ryan. Getting Diego Davis on the play, Tommy Lamb into second. 1 gone, Parker Burt the batter. I remember being very disappointed and even less than sanguine about the future of baseball in Seattle when Gaylord Perry, I remember even considering driving up from Eugene to go to the game, I think in 82. It might have been 83. I'll have to double check that. I should remember. I should know. 3 it might have been, actually. But it can be looked up in an instant now. Who needs memory? The pitch in there for a strike and the count 0-1 to Parker Burt. But anyway, I'll look it up, and I'll be glad to be able to corroborate, at least I hope, either 82 or 83. Let me go back. I'm going to go back to 82. The strike 1 pitch on the way, swung on and missed. Good changeup from Hagler. 0-2 the count. Brennan Aoki on deck. When Gaylord Perry, the legendary one, was going after his 300th victory as a major league pitcher. Runner goes, a throw with no one covering. Dakota Chun plays it on a hop. I mean, he didn't cover, and the throw came to him on a hop well beyond the bag at third. Tommy Lamb steals third. A little surprising. Kyle Crustangel, the head coach, over, but I guess with no one paying any attention to him, Tommy decided, what the heck, why not? So he picks up the 90 feet. And the pitch on the way is a little chopper, fielded by Micah Hagler, who throws to first to get Parker Burt. 2 down. Tommy Lamb didn't try to score. This is an odd kind of base running inning, to be honest with you. Tommy stealing a base for 1, down 11 runs, and then not coming home. They would have let him score had he just gone on contact on a high chopper off the plate. Parker Burt thus loses an RBI with Tommy Lamb, who mysteriously stole third and then didn't. If he breaks on contact on that ball hit off the plate high in the air, he would have scored. The Knights would have let him score and just gotten the out at first. So confusing times indeed. The pitch to Aoki fouled at the plate, and the count 0-1. Brennan has struck out and walked. 12-1 Knights in the 6th. Hagler's fastball inside. The count 1-1. When Gaylord, and I consider driving up by myself to see a historic moment in baseball history, won his 300th at the Kingdome. I think the Mariners, they drew 27,000 for that. The 1-1 slider swung on and missed, and the count 1-2. When Roger hit his 61st, and at Yankee Stadium, and I can only, this has got to be Ford Frick's fault, and the movie 61 and the asterisk and all that. The 1-2 pitch from Hagler off speed and high, 2-2 the count. Tommy Lamb at third, 2 down, 12-1 Knights in the sixth. When Roger hit his 61st at the stadium in the final game of the season, Sal Durante, maybe? I think Sal Durante caught the ball. The 2-2 pitch, fastball taken, strike 3 called to end the inning. Good job by Micah Hagler. Kind of an odd bit of base running in the inning, which comes to an end, a scoreless frame for Yakima Valley. Sal Durante, I think, caught the ball on home run number 61. But that day at the stadium with Maris still with a shot to break Ruth's record, they drew about 27, 28 at massive Yankee Stadium. These things are difficult to understand in the overall life we've been given. We go to the bottom of the sixth. The Knights 12 and Yakima Valley 1. Back in 90 on the Knights live stream and Joe Radio.
Rolling with the crew, where good vibes meet good times. Retro keys, vintage vibes, unlock your next adventure. Pups got the hookup too, belly rubs included. Space to kick back, laugh out loud, and just be. Hit the pop shop for quick snacks and take in the moment, or just chill with your pup and soak up the good life. Stay original at Hotel Corvallis.
At Eugene Airport, we want to say thank you. Thank you to our community for choosing us to connect you to many destinations, other cultures, your families, and friends. Thank you to our dedicated and professional staff for ensuring the airport experience is excellent. And thank you to local residents and businesses for making us who we are. We are proud to serve you, our region, and beyond. Together, we continue to grow and thrive. Thank you for flying local and for flying EUG.
Bottom of the sixth inning, 12-1 Knights. Kellen Siegel hits for Zane Garvey, takes inside the 1-0 pitch from Cameron Schifrin's up and in. 2 balls and no strikes to Kellen. Batting for Garvey, who had walked and scored, flied out, and had an RBI ground out. The 2-0 pitch, high, ball 3. 3-0 to Kellen. We'll see a hitter for Xavier Rios as well on deck. 3-0 pitch to Kellen is high for ball 4. A leadoff walk. Aiden Hazen, who I really enjoyed visiting with. Aiden will pinch hit for the Knights here in the bottom of the sixth inning. Aiden loves this place. He's grown up coming to Knights games, coming to Beavers games. Played for Petey, Andy Peterson at LB. Andy, a great Beaver. Second baseman on 2 Pac-12 championship clubs with Michael Conforto and company 2013 and 14. Petey, the head coach at LB, coaching again this summer up in Okotoks. Aiden takes a strike. The 0-1 pitch, missing a little bit high. The count 1-1. Aiden looking for a landing spot. I'm hearing some talk of perhaps Linfield. He has 2, maybe even 3 years of eligibility. He swings at a breaking ball, a 2-hopper to the hole, backhanded by Stone. Brandon, I think, had a play at second, but goes the long way to first and gets Aiden Hazen. Pretty good play by Stone, although I think he could have gotten Siegel as the lead runner at second. 1 away, and we'll see a hitter now for Joey Morosco. This will be Josh Myers. who made his Corvallis Knights debut last night. Brooke Knight with a 12-1 lead here, getting some ABs for several different players now here in the bottom of the 6th inning. For Josh, who has a chance for a run batted in. Kellen Siegel at second with 1 out. First ball swinging, Myers a high fly to right. Moving over is Tyson Miller, makes the catch. Siegel gets on the bag and will hold at second. It's a type of play where if the score were closer, if the Knights needed the run, Siegel might have gone. He has good wheels and might have tried to push and go, but there are 2 down now. Certainly with nobody out, I think he would have tried. The batter will be Diego Cruz. Diego stays in. He scored 3 runs tonight. He's walked twice, stolen 2 bases, has a double, scored 3 runs. Looking for an RBI here, takes high and away, ball 1, 1-0. One can only think that, again, it's Ford Frick's fault that Yankee Stadium was not playing to a sellout. When Maris went into the final day of the 1961 season with 60 homers. But the whole asterisk thing and all of that if he didn't do it within 154, then it wouldn't really count, or he'd have to share the record with Ruth. The asterisk that Maris did it in a 162 game season. The 1-1 breaking ball to Diego misses, and the count 2-1 took a little bit of life out of the chase. And so when Maris came close, and the final day at 154, he was at 59. And I think got to 60 in game 154, but then didn't hit the next one until the last game of the year. The 3-1 pitch pulled foul outside of first and down the line. The count goes to 3-2 to Diego Cruz. So maybe I'm trying to account for why Yankee fans, some of them may still have been somewhat partial to 2 things, to Ruth himself, but maybe to Mantle, who they were pulling for to break the record. The 3-2 pitch to Diego, high and away for ball 4. All of that to say Roger deserved better in actually surpassing the Bambino on the final day with his 61st, but less than half of a sellout in the ballpark for it. Ethan Porter stays in the ball game. He swings at the first pitch, and it's a fly ball to shallow left. Backing up, the shortstop Brandon Stone to make the catch, and the Knights are gone in the 6th. Heck, when Ken Griffey Jr. tied Mattingly and Dale Long in homering in 8 straight games, we were able to jump in the car, my friend Tommy Hewitt and I. Let's go to see if he can hit a home run in a 9th consecutive game. And we drove up to Seattle, walked up to the Kingdom, and got tickets on that day. Griffey Jr. hit one to the warning track, but didn't get to 9 straight. But I wish I would have done it for Gaylord for the 300. And I would have been able to walk up and get a ticket for that easily, too. And I'm not sure that's as things should be. We go to the 7th, 12-1 Knights. Back in 60. Let's take a 60-second pitching change break. Back in 1 minute on the live stream and Joe Radio. Through 6 innings at Goss Stadium at Coleman Field, the Knights 12 runs, 8 hits, and 2 errors. Yakima Valley a run, 3 hits, and 2 errors. Micah Hagler to the 7th, goes to work on Max Workman and starts him with a strike. 0-1 the count. Max has singled and grounded into a double play. It's the first time he's taken a pitch. The 0-1 pitch on the way from Micah, taken inside, and the count 1-1. If you live or work in one of 24 Western or Central Oregon counties, you're entitled to membership privileges and the full financial services at Oregon State Credit Union. The 1-1 fastball, a strike. You can join online at OregonStateCU.com or one of their 15 branches. Oregon State Credit Union, the proud title sponsor of the Corvallis Knights fireworks show annually, and again, a huge crowd this year back on July 3rd. Workman hits one foul into the lower grandstand below the Riley Concourse. Down the line, the count remains 1 ball and 2 strikes to Max Workman. 12-1 Knights in the 7th, closing in on their 4th straight series win. Putting things together, getting hot at the right time with the postseason just around the corner. 1 ball and 2 strikes. Micah with a big leg kick delivers, swung on and missed. Strike 3, 1 away. Brandon Stone will be the hitter. Good slider from Micah for the out. Brandon Stone has been up twice and struck out twice. The pitch on the way, fastball a little low, ball 1, 1-0. It was nice to be close enough in those days in Portland, working to, a good buddy, Tommy Hewitt, a big Mariner fan. And we were just almost at a, hey, you want to go to the Mariner game? I'd get off. He would too. Just sometimes spur of the moment. Make the trip. I mean, it's a bit of a hike, but wonderful to have the Mariners that close. The 1-1 pitch on the way, low, ball 2, 2-1. Junior's quest to hit a home run in 9 consecutive games captivated the Northwest and Major League Baseball. Only 3 players, maybe 1 more. Has somebody else done it since? Again, it can be looked up in a matter of moments. All I know are Dale Long, Don Mattingly, and Ken Griffey Jr. It seems that somebody else might have done it in recent years. But again, I'll defer to AI and whoever looks it up and sends it my way. The 2-2 pitch hit high in the air down the left field line, a long run into foul territory, and making a good catch out there with the Knights changing things up from a personnel standpoint. Kellen Siegel, 1-for-1 switch with Zane Garvey, chases it down and left. Good play. 2 down, a long foul out for Brandon Stone. Yash Gupta, the batter. I remember being amused by Don Mattingly, Donnie Baseball, being honest when he hit home runs in 8 consecutive games. Part of the reason that he became Hattie's idol, I suppose. Hagler delivers a strike to Gupta. 0-1 to Yash, who was flied out and lined out. Hagler's strike 1 pitch. That's in there for strike 2. 0-2 the count. Mattingly in one of the, hey, you're 1 home run away now from Dale Long, and Mattingly in the Yankee clubhouse. Who the heck is Dale Long? The strike 2 pitch, foul back. It remains 0-2. The same kind of reaction. The Smiler Grogan case is solved. Who the heck is Smiler Grogan? Says Mrs. Tracy to Captain Culpepper, I should say. And it's a mad, 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 mad world. Ground ball off the mound, fielded by Hagler. Backhands left of the mound, throws a 1-hopper, dug out nicely by Ethan Porter. And the inning is over. Who the heck is Dale Long? Well, Mattingly caught him at 8. Griffey caught Mattingly at 8. And I'd love to hear Sydney or anybody who knows, yeah, and then so-and-so caught all of them at 8 too. But I don't think anyone's ever done it in 9 straight. A 1-2-3 inning for Micah Hagler. We go to the bottom of the 7th. This big Star Wars night crowd on their feet. A 2-minute pitching change break coming with the Pippins bringing in a big right-hander out of the pen. To the bottom of the 7th, the Knights 12, the Pippins 1, back in 2 on the Knights live stream and Joe Radio.
Welcome. We're looking to switch and heard about OCCU. In 20 words, what makes OCCU different?
OCCU has free interest earning checking, high yield savings, and a community focus.
That's only 11.
We're the credit union with duck and beaver cards.
Sounds like OCCU has a lot to offer.
OCCU has been around for 70 years. We've learned a thing or two.
Switch to OCCU. Apply online at myoccu.org or at your local branch.
Big Dan Bradley takes over for Yakima Valley as we go to the bottom of the 7th. The first pitch to Maverick Russell. Fastball for a strike. 0-1 the count. Maverick doubled home a run in the first, a bloop double. Miscommunication between Max Workman and Brandon Stone, allowing the ball to fall in. Then an RBI single in the second. Fielder's choice in the fourth, a walk in the fifth. He's driven in 2, scored 2. He takes outside from Bradley. 1 ball and 1 strike, bottom of the 7th, 12-1 Knights. The 1-1 pitch outside, ball 2, 2-1. The attendance tonight, 1,749. Good crowd, indeed. 1,749, which includes, again, members of the Slovakia U20 track and field team, and they're making the rounds. I like what they're doing. They are sampling baseball from different spots in the ballpark. I noticed that last night. The team, both the male and female members, following the Sam Neill, they do travel in herds. 4 or 5 of them at once are kind of wandering around and sitting down in different sections of the ballpark. Maverick Russell takes high and away, ball 4, a leadoff walk here in the bottom of the 7th. Dakota Chun, the batter. 12-1 Knights in the bottom of the 7th inning, the series finale and homestand finale for the Knights tomorrow, late afternoon, 5:05. Dakota takes the fastball from Dan Bradley, high and away, ball 1, 1-0. Bradley, out of Keller, Texas, began his collegiate career at Amarillo College, now at Western Oklahoma State in Altus, Oklahoma. Delivers a 1-0 pitch that gets through Parker Burt. And to the backstop, a wild pitch. Maverick Russell into second. To Dakota Chun, who has walked twice, in fact, walked thrice, I should say, and had a RBI single at the plate with a chance for another run batted in. 2 balls and no strikes. The Knights in command again. They won last night 11-6, had an 11-2 lead going to the 8th. The Pippins fought back and made it a little more interesting down the stretch, to the point that it took Joey Morosco coming in from center field to get the game's final out. Dakota takes high and away, ball 3 from Dan Bradley. The 3-0 pitch taken for a strike, and the count 3-1. Bradley comes set, and the right-hander with a 3-1 pitch on the way to Dakota Chun is lined into the glove of the shortstop Brandon Stone. A couple of steps to his right to make the catch. 1 away. Ryan Severns, the batter. For replacement glass, shower doors, or new vinyl windows in your home, call Smith Glass. Smith Glass is a leading residential and commercial glass service for the Mid-Valley and longtime partner of the Corvallis Knights. Smith Glass on the cutting edge since 1945. First pitch breaking ball, way outside, good backhand grab by Parker Burt, 1-0 the count. My Albany friends, as I waited out phone service downtown Albany today with Deacon and Asia, we talked of the cutting edge, the film, the 1-0 fastball high and inside, ball 2. And we were speaking of the actor D.B. Sweeney and his role in the cutting edge and his role in 8 Men Out and his good-looking swing and his love for baseball. Playing Dish and Lonesome Dove. The 2-0 pitch drilled foul into the upper grandstand, keeping them all on the alert above the Jack Riley concourse. 2 balls and a strike. My friends Deacon and Asia, wide-ranging conversation with them about D.B. Sweeney, about Mickey Rourke, about William S. Burroughs, and a lot Rod Steiger, who they didn't know much of, and I gave them several films they ought to see with him. The 2-1 pitch in there for a strike, and the count 2-2. They weren't aware of the pawnbroker or in the heat of the night or on the waterfront. They actually pull out a piece of paper. Okay, we're going to write these down. You've given us other movie recommendations, and we've seen them and liked them, including The Swimmer with Lancaster. 2-2 breaking ball poked into right center field. That'll drop for a base hit. Rounding third, on his way to the plate is Maverick Russell, and he will score. Another run batted in for Ryan Severns, and the Knights lead it 13-1. Maverick Russell having himself a really good ball game with 2 runs batted in and 3 runs scored, and Ryan Severns picking up his 4th run batted in. Max Medina, the hitter. 13-1 Knights. In the scoreagami world, you hear 13-1, and I know you with me in the same age frame, and I don't know how many of you are left, but there's only one game that can come to mind for that. The pitch on the way, a strike, game 6, 68, 13-1. Denny McLean, who won the 31 games during the regular season, had 1 win in the World Series. He was upstaged by the pride of Lincoln High School in Portland, the great Mickey Lolich, who won 3, including Game 7 over Gibby. But 13-1 was the score of Game 6. Jim Northrup, a grand slam, and McLean got his World Series win. Strike 1 pitch. Medina, a ground ball to second. Aoki shovels to Stone for 1. Brandon fires to first. Medina nearly beat it. He can run, but he is thrown out on the double play ball. 4-6-3, and the inning is over. The Knights get a run on a hit and get us to 13-1 as we go to the 8th. The Knights closing in on another series win and the playoffs. They'll bring a new pitcher in to look for the final, to be part of looking for the final 6 outs. We'll take a 2-minute pitching change break as we go to the 8th. The Knights 13, Yakima Valley 1, back in 2 on the Knights live stream and Joe Radio. Top of the 8th inning, the Knights 13 and Yakima Valley 1. Levi Hodges comes out of the Corvallis Knights bullpen. The Knights are 6 outs away from wrapping up the ball game. They won handily last night, 11-6. They lost a little bit of their firm grip on the game late, leading 11-2. It became 11-6 before it was all over. The Knights hope that they can be a little more efficient tonight in bringing this one home. 6 outs away. Hodges delivers a 1-0 pitch for a strike. The count 1-1. The 1-1 pitch is pop foul into the stands just below our vantage point by Cole French. The count goes to 1-2. Cole has grounded to short and walked. Hodges delivers, breaking ball inside. 2 balls and 2 strikes the count. Levi appearing now in his second game. Struck out 1 in his 1 inning of work. He bounces his 2-2 pitch. 3-2 the count to Cole French, leading matters off in the top of the 8th inning. 3-2 pitch hit high in the air to left and playable. Kellen Siegel backs up a couple of steps and makes the grab, 1 away. The best thing about that was Hodges pitching to contact. Last night, that was one of the problems in the last 2 innings, up 11-2, and ended up being 11-6 with an inordinate number of freebies. Levi Hodges, the pride of Sitka, Alaska, throws a breaking ball down and in, ball 1, 1-0. Levi kicks and comes back to the plate, just outside, ball 2. 2 balls and no strikes. Levi, 6-foot, 180-pounder from Sitka and attending Taft College. The 2-0 fastball a little bit high, ball 3. So again, the task for the right-hander Levi Hodges is to find his way into the zone and not give up the free stuff with a 12-run lead late. The 3-0 pitch, a strike, in the count 3-1. The 3-1 pitch misses a little bit high for ball 4. Aiden Hazen handling catching chores now. Again, Aiden looking for that maybe not necessarily final landing spot, but looking for the next opportunity ahead for him. Settling in back of the plate, good receiver, thrower, catcher. The pitch on the way, nice job by Aiden to backhand a pitch up and away. Ball 1 to Tommy Lamb. A 1-out walk to Tyson Miller. 13-1 Knights in the 8th. Levi again hoping to follow a different path than what unfolded the last 2 innings last night with respect to the strike zone. Misses low and in, ball 2. 2 balls and no strikes. And Bo Kearns is out of the dugout. Not a sprint out, but a little bit like, okay, you know, we were here all together last night. Let's plot a different course. Trying to help Levi maintain focus. Aiden Hazen joins the conversation as well. Levi pitched to contact 3-2 and got an out to open the inning. A walk to Tyson Miller. 2-0 to Tommy Lamb. 13-1 Knights in the 8th. I'm not exactly sure where Taft College is, other than looking it up and seeing that they're in the West Kern Community College District. 2-0 pitch, a line drive, base hit to center field. Max Medina hustling in, was thinking about trying to make a play at second on a 4. But Tyson Miller is safely into second. Tommy Lamb with a base hit to center field. Diego Davis will come to the plate. So I can't locate exactly in my mind's eye where it is, but seeing West Kern Community College District, immediately I have Merle's song about Kern River flowing through my head. You'll never swim Kern River again. It's a haunting kind of tune. Breaking ball misses for ball 1. And I think this is a get on the same page type meeting now, with Aiden Hazen actually going through some, okay, here with a runner at second, and Aiden seemed to be crossed up by the pitch just a bit. So he's going out to make sure he's on the same page with his battery mate. 1 ball and no strikes, although he is being charged with a visit for that communique. 1 ball and no strikes, 13-1. The temperature is indeed cooling with that wind picking up a little bit. The 1-0 pitch swung on and fouled back. The ball landing in front of the entry area to Goss Stadium at Coleman Field. Gets the count even at 1 ball and 1 strike to Diego, who has struck out, singled, homer run, grounded to short. Levi Hodges with runners at first and second and 1 out delivers a good breaking ball for a strike, and the count 1-2. Sitka, Alaska. I've only been in Alaska a couple of times, Fairbanks, and actually 3 times to the great state. But the Great Alaska Shootout in November over the Thanksgiving weekend of 2001. The 1-2 pitch, breaking ball hit off the end of the bat and a couple of hops. Diego Cruz goes to second for 1 and to first for a double play. And the inning is over. I thought Cruz, the inning's over. That's 3 outs, boys. That's 3 outs. 4-6-3 double play ball. The inning is over. The Knights just kind of hanging out on the field. Really? Are there 3 outs? Yeah, there are. Kellen Siegel caught a fly ball to open the inning, and then I just saw a well-turned double play. I was surprised that Diego went to second to get the lead runner when that was close, but he did, and Severance came across with a strong throw to first, 4-6-3 to end the inning. Asia and Deacon and I talked about Anchorage with respect to a singer who was very modest in his overall approach to life. A rare encounter with a major lead singer of a band in the early 2000s. I'll share with you when we go to the bottom of the 8th. The Knights 13, Yakima Valley 1 back in 90 on the Knights live stream and Joe Radio.
Welcome. We're looking to switch and heard about OCCU. In 20 words, what makes OCCU different?
OCCU has free interest earning checking, high yield savings, and a community focus.
That's only 11.
We're the credit union with duck and beaver cards.
Sounds like OCCU has a lot to offer.
OCCU has been around for 70 years. We've learned a thing or two.
Switch to OCCU. Apply online at myoccu.org or at your local branch.
Bottom of the 8th inning for, as Ross Durfeld has been announcing the Knights, leading off for your Jedi Knights. Kellen Siegel takes a first pitch strike from Dan Bradley. Dan's 0-1 pitch misses up and in, ball 1. Kellen drew a walk in his first plate appearance in the 6th inning. We're in the bottom of the 8th, 13-1 Knights, 3 outs away from wrapping up another series win. The 1-1 pitch, Kellen hits it high in the air, foul down the right field line, drifting towards Casey Corner, landing on the platform out at Casey Corner. 1 ball and 2 strikes to Kellen Siegel. Aiden Hazen on deck with Josh Myers to follow. The 1-2 pitch to Kellen, down and away, ball 2. Landed in Anchorage late to call the Great Alaska Shootout for men's basketball. Also got to call 3 games for the Indiana Hoosier Radio Network that weekend. Memorable, and Indiana ended up going to the title game that year. The 2-2 pitch to Siegel, and Mike Davis's first year misses high for ball 3, 3-2. But it was late at the Anchorage airport, one of the last flights in coming out of Portland. And only 1 cab and 3 of us wandering to the sidewalk. The 3-2 pitch inside for ball 4, the ball glancing off the mid of Parker Burt. Kellen Siegel down to first base with another walk drawn. Aiden Hazen, the batter. So standing there in the curb, the 1 cab, 3 people, and so we kind of, go to the share mode, share, Cosmo Kramer, share, Mel Torme, impressed by that anyhow. 13-1 Knights in the bottom of the 8th. So yeah, we share the cab because we're all going downtown Anchorage. I start querying the person next to me, the pitch on the way. What do you do? I'm a musician. Oh, yeah. Isn't everybody? No. So I asked him if he played the clubs in Portland. Well, yeah, I played the clubs in Portland. You get out of Portland much? Well, yeah, sometimes. I mean, he's not owning up to who he is. And I didn't know by sight. The strike one pitch hit foul off first. Cole French comes as far as he can. The ball lands in the seats, and the count 0-2 to Aiden Hazen, who grounded to short in the 6th inning. We're in the 8th, 13-1 Knights. So that line of, the Socratic, well, okay, do you do that? Do you play outside of Portland? Just peppering him without getting too far, finding out that he's a musician that plays clubs outside of Portland occasionally. The strike 2 pitch on the way, fastball high. Then we start talking. He asked me, well, what are you doing here? Well, I'm here for the Greater Alaska. Oh, basketball. So he starts talking to whoever he was with about, and I think it was their in-law or family, his wife or girlfriend or whatever, coming up for Thanksgiving to Anchorage to visit this guy's girlfriend's parents or whatever. The 1-2 pitch on the way, breaking ball, grounded foul. The count remains 1-2. So I said, well, hey, they start talking about tickets and if I knew how much tickets were and whether there are any available. And in my role as the voice of Oregon State, I could probably leave you a couple. What's your name? I'll leave them for you. He says, Art Alexis. And I looked at the Everclear Art. Yeah. Yeah, he was a musician and he played in clubs in Portland and elsewhere. The breaking ball, strike 3 called on Aiden Hazen. Down he goes, one away. Josh Myers to the plate. He was very unassuming. And have you ever heard of Everclear? That's me. No, I had to keep asking questions. And the thing I was glad, to tell him right around that time, Wonderful had been out. Really moving, good song by Art. And we taught our daughters the concept of opposites through the line, when you're little and the world's so big line. When you're hot, and my daughter, when the world's so cold, when you're this, and when you're high and the world's so low. We taught opposites, and I told him we used your song, Wonderful, to help teach our kids opposites, and tested them on that. And he said, well, he said, I didn't realize that's why I wrote the song, but I'm glad it's worked for you that way. That's a great song, by the way. Josh Myers with a count of 1 ball, 1 strike. My brush with greatness in Anchorage, Alaska. The 1-1 pitch missing high, ball 2, 2-1. So I ended up leaving tickets. I felt like Jerry Glanville leaving tickets for Elvis. But I left tickets for Art Alexis. Whether he ever came, I don't know, but I left tickets throughout the shootout for he and his significant other. 2001, Anchorage, Alaska, in the Great Alaska Shootout. The 2-1 pitch, very high, ball 3. 3-1 to Josh Myers. Josh flied to right field in the 6th. 13-1 Knights, bottom of the 8th. The pride of Idaho Falls. Josh Myers awaits and takes ball 4. The ball glances off the mitt of the catcher Parker Burt, who chases the ball down in front of the Slovakian U20 national team members just a couple of rows behind the Knights dugout. Kellen Siegel to second. And Diego Cruz to the plate. Diego has walked 3 times, struck out and singled to right. He scored 3 runs. A barefoot youngster bearing a lightsaber wandering through the stands here at Goss Stadium at Coleman Field for some reason. The pitch to Diego nearly hits Cruz, who checks his swing. The pitch in the turf, and the count 1-0 to Diego. Bottom of the 8th, 13-1 Knights. Ethan Porter on deck. The Knights will look for the sweep. Tomorrow we'll be on the air at 4:50. The 1-0 pitch. Diego, a fly ball into shallow right field. Tyson Miller plays it on a hop. That'll load the bases up for Ethan with 1 away here in the bottom of the 8th. Diego with his second hit, 13 runs and 10 hits for the Knights. Ethan Porter, the batter. Ethan is grounded to second, walked and scored, been hit by a pitch and scored. Fly to center field, popped to short. Ethan with a chance to add to his team-leading RBI total here. Been for him kind of a quiet night on a big night for the team overall, up 13-1, bottom of the 8th. Bases loaded, 1 out. Bradley delivers high. Ball 1, 1-0. Kellen Siegel at third base. Josh Myers at second. Diego Cruz at first. Breaking ball strike to Ethan. 1 ball and 1 strike the count. Well, one thing's for sure, I mean, I see the coaches now for the Slovakia U20 national team. They've been taking the game in. I don't know how much they know about baseball, but they've been able to see a lot of it the last 4 nights. The 1-1 pitch, Ethan swings and hits it foul, back of the plate and out of play, and I watched the coaches track that foul ball from the time it came off the bat of Ethan Porter. They tracked it all the way out of the ballpark, so they're kind of getting the feel for it. A couple of the athletes told some friends of mine to the right that, well, we don't know baseball very well, but we like the ice cream. 1 ball, 2 strikes, 1 out, bases loaded. That was last night. I don't see much of the ice cream tonight on a much cooler evening. Porter takes a breaking ball away and the count 2-2. But I'm sure this will be part of their own narrative when they get back to their homeland and talk of what'd you do? Well, we went to baseball games every night. 2 balls, 2 strikes, bases loaded, 1 out. Porter, a fly ball to right field. He's going to get himself a run batted in. The ball caught out there by Tyson Miller. Kellen Siegel tags and scores. And Ethan Porter does get a run batted in, his 27th of the summer. The Knights lead it 14-1. That is one of those situations where on a certain level, you might not even send a runner, but you don't want to, I mean, these at-bats and batting averages and numbers and RBIs, all of that, important. And so rather than have it be an 0 for night and that Ethan Porter doesn't have a hit, it's going to end up being for him an 0 for 3 night, but he gets a run batted in with the sacrifice fly here. Maverick Russell, the batter, takes a strike in the count 0-1. 14-1 Knights in the bottom of the 8th inning. They'll be looking to get the sweep tomorrow. We'll be on the air at 4:50, the final home game of the regular season Fan Appreciation Day here at the ballpark. First and third, 2 down. Bradley to the plate. Maverick Russell takes inside. Ball 2, 2-0. "11 walks issued in the game by Yakima Valley pitching. They've hit 3 batters as well. The 2-0 pitch, or 1-1 pitch, pardon me, a strike, and the count 1-2. Josh Myers at third. Diego Cruz at first, 2 down. From the stretch, Dan Bradley comes back to Maverick Russell and misses up and in with the slider. Ball 2, 2-2. Mavericks had a really good ball game. 3 runs batted in and has scored 3 runs and certainly could be our Washington Park Advisors player of the game, but the guys have talked me into starting and winning pitcher, and I didn't believe me. I didn't need a lot of persuasion on it, but Arlo Pendleton, who went 5 strong innings, will be the player of the game for the Knights. 5 innings, no earned runs in the 5. 14-1 Knights, bottom of the 8th. Maverick takes high, ball 3, 3-2. Diego Cruz will be running on the pitch. Josh Myers at third, 3-2, 2 down. The 3-2 pitch is a wild one to the backstop. Coming down the line to score is Josh Myers, Diego Cruz into third. The Knights lead it 15-1 on another walk by Yakima Valley pitching. Dakota Chun to the plate. Dakota has walked 3 times. Singled home a run, scored a run. First and third, 2 down. 15-1 Knights in the bottom of the 8th inning. Dan Bradley out of the stretch, comes to the plate, misses high, ball 1, 1-0. The Knights with a run in the first, 3 in the second, 6 in the fourth, 2 in the fifth, 1 in the seventh, and 2 here in the bottom of the 8th. Bradley misses high, ball 2, 2-0. No one throwing in the Yakima Valley bullpen. The 2-0 pitch, a slicing fly ball to left. Max Workman moves over to his right a few steps to make the catch, and the Knights are gone in the bottom of the 8th. But they get 2 more. They have 15. The lead appears pretty safe going to the top of the 9th inning. At the end of 8, the Knights 15. The Jedi Knights 15. Yakima Valley 1. Back in 90 on the Knights live stream and Joe Radio. Top of the 9th, 15-1 Knights. Parker Burt, Brennan Aoki, Max Workman, the scheduled hitters. The pride of Sitka, Alaska. Levi Hodges to work and misses down and away to Parker. 1 ball and no strikes. Parker has struck out, grounded out, and hit back to the box. He hits a ground ball to short, fielded by Ryan Severns over to first in time for the out. 1 away. The Knights are 2 outs away from wrapping up their 4th consecutive series win, putting themselves in a position to get a rare sweep tomorrow. And very close to clinching a playoff berth. Not tonight automatically from what I'm told. They still have perhaps 1 more item to take care of to clinch a postseason berth. Winning tomorrow should do that if they're able to complete the sweep. Hudson Freeze pinch hits for Brennan Aoki. Hudson takes the first pitch from Levi Hodges high and away. The 1-0 pitch foul back. 1-1 the count. Top of the 9th inning, 15-1. The Knights in front. The 1-1 pitch in there for a strike. The count 1-2 to Hudson Freeze, the pinch hitter out of West Valley High School and a hometown kid in Yakima, attending Arizona Christian. The 1-2 pitch from Levi, breaking ball just inside. Ball 2, 2-2. Max Workman on deck. Former Spokane player in the West Coast League, Drew Rasmussen, pitching for the Spokane Riverhawks. Not that's the Edmonton Riverhawks. I can't quite remember what the Spokane team nickname was. They weren't in the league very long. Spokane had an entry in the West Coast League, and Drew Rasmussen pitched for them. Today he went 6 innings, 4 hits, no runs, got the win. He's 10-5 on the year with an ERA of under 3. In a 1-0 victory over the Chicago White Sox, Drew the winning pitcher. West Coast League alumnus. The Spokane, what were they called again? Anyway, 3-2 the count. Levi to the plate. Check swing. Did he go on a peel? No swing, says Jim Courtney. Nobody would have blinked had he said strike 3. The only guy that probably would have minded, and I don't blame him, would be Hudson Freeze. But it looked like close enough to be in a swing in a 14-run ball game to just go ahead and ring him up. But no. And Hudson Freeze, to his credit, able to get the barrel of the bat stopped in time. Max Workman, the batter. A 1-out walk to the pinch hitter Hudson Freeze. Workman takes high and away from Levi Hodges. Ball 1, 1-0, 15-1 Knights in the top of the 9th inning. Brooks Lee, former Knight, 2019, went 2 for 4 tonight in that Twins 4-3 loss to Seattle. Trevor Larnach homered. Larnach his 9th of the year for the Twins in their loss to the Mariners in Seattle. Breaking ball down, ball 2, 2-0. The Guardians slumping, lost 12-8 to Arizona, but former Knight Stephen Kwan went 3 for 5 with 2 RBIs. Travis Pizzana 2 for 5 with a double in the loss. The 2-0 pitch is outside, ball 3, 3-0 to Max Workman. Brandon Stone on deck. Levi trying to get himself back in the strike zone with the 14-run lead. Comes set, the 3-0 pitch, ball 4. Back-to-back walks in the 9th inning, first and second, and 1 out. Brandon Stone to the plate. Really good day today, though, for Drew. Drew Rasmussen, an all-star, has improved to 10-5, one of the best pitchers in Major League Baseball. For the Tampa Bay Rays, and just having a brilliant campaign. Great kid. He of the author of the perfect game, the only one in Pac-12 baseball history in a conference game, turned in by Drew Rasmussen against Washington State in 2015 right here. A balk called on Levi Hodges. Hudson Freeze to third, Max Workman thus to second. Brandon Stone, the batter, second and third, 1 out. The pitch to Stone is outside, ball 1, 1-0. The only run for the Pippins in the third, an unearned tally. Levi trying to get himself locked back into the zone. The right-hander's 1-0 pitch, good breaking ball for a strike, and the count 1-1. Yash Gupta on deck. Tough finish to the season for Yakima Valley with the primary issues on the bump. Giving up 15 more runs here tonight. The 1-1 breaking ball pulled foul outside of third. 1 ball and 2 strikes the count. The Pippins will be out to salvage the series finale tomorrow. The Knights will close the season Monday, Tuesday, and Wednesday, the regular season at Ridgefield. And then we'll wait to see what their playoff destination is. Pitch on the way, it's check swing, but he went around in the judgment of home plate umpire Perry Schofield without recourse to help. Strike 3, 2 down. Yash Gupta will be the batter. if the Knights somehow overtake Walla Walla, and they have to overtake them, a tie, Walla Walla owns the tiebreaker. Beginning the night with a 1-game lead, the Knights need to jump Walla Walla. A tie would give Walla Walla the second half title, but the second half winner is automatically the 2 seed in the playoffs. Fly ball to left. Kellen Siegel is right there to make the catch. The ball game is over. Levi Hodges issues back-to-back walks, but fills the zone up to get the final 3 outs, and the Knights put the finishing touches on another win as they've gotten hot here down the stretch and improved to 15-8 in the second half. 15 runs, 10 hits, 2 errors for the Knights, a run, 4 hits, 2 errors for Yakima Valley. Big night offensively for Maverick Russell with 3 RBIs and 3 runs scored. Diego Cruz scores 3 runs. Ethan Porter adds to his RBI leading total. Ryan Severns with 4 more runs batted in. 2 RBIs on a double, an RBI fielder's choice, and an RBI single. We would have given Severns the Washington Park Advisors Player of the Game honors, but he just recently got him, and Arlo Pendleton pitched very well, going 5 innings to get the win. Arlo Pendleton, Micah Hagler, and Levi Hodges get it done on the mound, no earned runs. The Knights score 15, taking advantage of a lot of free passes from the Pippins, and get another win in the march toward the playoffs. We'll try to get the sweep here tomorrow. For Everett Barty and Brian Thomas and our crew back in the studios at 1240 Joe Radio, Javon Grossman, Dale Hummel, and Garrett Dworshak. This is Mike Parker thanking you for joining us, where the Knights, before 1,749, get it done again on Star Wars night. Final score, Fan Appreciation Night coming tomorrow. Don't miss out. A lot of prizes to be given away to lucky fans throughout. Presented by Les Schwab Tire Centers tomorrow, 4:50 airtime. Again, our final score tonight, the Knights 15 and Yakima Valley 1. Talk to you tomorrow right back here at 4:50 on the Knights live stream and Joe Radio. So long, everybody.